Okay, guys, let's start with this marathon. I hope everybody is well. Let me just check we are live or not. Yes, we are live. So let's start with this. Okay, whatever important questions I have told, first we will try to do those like important concepts which I feel this can come in examination. Already a playlist is there just to give you the guidance. Hindi fast track is there. English full course is there already. A Hindi marathon is there. You can just scan this and you can get this. Now let us start with this, the marathon for South Indian students, and even where we are going to cover all important aspects which can come in this examination of May 23. Yeah, hello everybody. Yeah, those who are there, they can like the video. I hope we are live, guys. Yeah, notes are there. Yeah, let's see this. Let's start with this, sir. First thing which I will start with this is joint product by product. There is one question on contribution margin method. Let us try to understand this. I will explain this. That is going to be easiest one. Not asked yet, so there is high probability they will ask you this. Okay, let us start with this. Just let me know whether we are audible or not, and let me check that whether latency is high or low, whatever. Stream setting. Yeah, there it was low. Nevertheless. Let us start with this. Okay. Now, if I just start with this, that is joint product by product contribution margin method. Let me see this question. Yeah, it is there. Illustration number 3 in the study material. Okay. What is there in the question? You have to solve with me. You have to write. You have to calculate the things. Then it will be easier. Joint product by product. So, what is written is this, sir. There is one find out the cost of joint product A and B. You have to calculate cost of A and B. Okay, using which method? Contribution margin method. If you see this, it is mentioned you have to calculate this cost by contribution margin method. Okay, from the following data, let us try to understand. There are two products A and B. There are two products A and B. For which sales are given in the question, for which sales are given. So just to give you the perspective, there is one timeline from which there are two products A and B. Okay, now if I go ahead, there are two products A and B. Okay, let's see this. So how many units are made? 100 units are made over here. Then at the rate of rupees 60, I will say, and here it is 120 units are made into at the rate of rupees 300. Okay, so you will get this sales value easily. You will get this sales value, that is 100 into 60. Sir, your cost is 6,000. Sir, understandable. Then 120 into 30, my cost is 3,000. Sorry, sales value is this. This is my quantity, this is my selling price, and this is my sales value, which is at split off point. Okay, this is my sales value. Once the products are, there is a split. Okay, sir, there is a joint cost. Two costs are there. There is one variable cost, which is marginal cost, and then there is one fixed cost. This is joint cost. Joint cost is something which is incurred before split off point. Okay, so sir, value of joint cost is 4,400. Okay, sir, and value of fixed cost is 3,900. Now the question arises, first of all, now generally what we used to do, we will take the total and then we will divide, but this time it is mentioned in the question, when you allocate the joint cost, guys, which method you will have to follow? You will have to follow contribution margin method. Sir, what is contribution? So first of all, understand what is contribution. Contribution means sales price minus variable cost. Contribution means sales price minus variable cost. Yes, sir. So now, sir, how we gonna do this? Understand. Now the main solution. First of all, I will talk about variable cost. First of all, I will talk about the variable cost. So you will have to tell me, sir, variable cost depends upon which factor? Sir, variable cost depends upon number of units. As number of units increases, your cost will increase. It means this joint cost should be divided between A and B in number of units ratio. Then only you will get that joint variable cost of A and B. So let me just do this. I will do this. 4,400 will be divided between A and B in the ratio of this. So now you will understand this. Please understand here. First I do this. So it means I will say there is particulars, there is A, there is B, and then there is total. Okay. Now in this case, I will write down my total variable cost. So what is my total variable cost? 4,400. I have to divide this. But sir, that will be divided on what ratio? So you need to understand, sir, that will be divided based on quantity ratio, because variable cost is dependent upon quantity. So sir, there are 100 units. Sir, there are 120 units. This lecture will be conducted in basic English. So here we go. There are 220 units. So let me divide it 220, 4,400 divided by 220 into 120. Yes, I got the variable cost. then 100. Once you cross multiply, guys, you will get this. That is this, to 4400 into 120 divided by 220. If you know some shortcut, that is very good. 4400 into 100 divided by 220. Done, sir. Multiplication is done. I have got the this variable cost. Now I will have to apportion. I will have to apportion fixed cost. Sir, is it dependent upon number of units? No, it is like a rent. It is not dependent upon number of units. So for fixed cost, the method which we are going to use, the name will be contribution margin method. So you will calculate the contribution. You will say particulars. You will say sir A, sir B, and then there is a total. Okay. So first, your variable cost will be divided based on number of units. Now if I tell you sales minus variable cost, guys, you will get contribution margin. This is your contribution margin that you will get. Acha, sir, do I have the sales ka data? Yes, of course you do have the sales ka data. If you check this, your sales value is this. That is, your sales value will be 6,000. Here your sales value will be 3,600, and your variable cost, which is calculated over here, which is divided based on number of units, 2000 and 2400. Acha, once I do this, I will get this as 4000. I will get 3600 minus 2400. I will get 1200. Okay. And I will get 5700. This is known as contribution margin. A gives me this much contribution, B gives me this much contribution. Now, your fixed cost will be divided based on this ratio. What is your fixed cost? It means when I say contribution margin method, it means your variable cost will be divided based on units, and then you will say sales minus variable cost, you will get contribution, and your fixed cost should be divided based on contribution margin method. So I will say that your 3900 is your fixed cost, which can be seen here. You can cross multiply this and you can get the answer. Sir, 3900 into 1200 divided by 5200, that is 900. Then 3900 into 4000 divided by 5200, cross multiplication. That is something that we know from the foundation. Sir, this is going to be 3000. Perfect. This is your answer. This is your answer, where I will say that is how the cost will be divided. Okay, perfect. Now if you want to check the answers, your variable cost is divided like this, your fixed cost is divided like this. Let us check this. If you check from the study material, your variable cost, you can check this, has been divided. This is fixed cost, which is divided 3000 and 3900, as I did here. And variable cost also they must have done 2000 and 2400, like this. That's it. So this is your answer. This question can come in question number 1 as a 5 marks ka question. Have not been tested yet, a new question which has been introduced. So there is high possibility they can ask this. So this question we are done with this, guys. This is first. Contribution margin method, question number 3, which I was expecting in examination. So we are done with this question. Yeah. There are other things also which are there. Okay. So if you want to cover that, tomorrow you can watch either the fast track lecture or maybe we can plan something tomorrow also for the remaining. First, today we are doing some important concepts, okay? Or you already have a playlist which is there. Even if you are comfortable with Hindi, already a fast track lecture is uploaded. Done. So sir, we are done with this. I will pin the links also if you want in the Telegram group. You can join CA Armor by CA Rahul Panchal, or you can scan these two things. You will automatically join the Telegram group also. Yeah. Now, this is done. Sir, now what is next important thing? Sir, let us go to the process costing. There are two important concepts, which is inter-process profit and equivalent output. Okay, you haven't liked the video, it is just a request from my side. You can like the video. Okay. Now, if I just talk about the process costing, inter-process profit, which is not tested yet. Okay, it's been 5 attempts, which is not tested. And after 5 attempts, generally they do ask. So there is very high probability you will see this question for 10 marks and this for 5 marks. High probability, I am saying. Obviously, it's not me who has set the paper, but high probability from my side. Inter-process profit. Sir, let us do the question. Again, there is a question in the study material for that matter. If I just talk about inter-process profit, so let us just do that question. Let me just search here. Costing, then there is a costing, and there is a costing. I will say ICS study mat solution. You can just let me just take that question. I will just take it from here, from the book which is there. Just a second. Just you will have to wait for some time. Textbook of process costing. Okay, let me just, it will take just 2-3 seconds. Yeah, it's there. Okay, so process costing ka question. If you search in the study material, you will get exact similar question. You will either search for this, just search this in your study material. If anybody knows Question number, just let me know in the chat box. If anybody knows question number, just let me know in the chat box. Inter-process profit wala question, which is there in study material, RS Limited. Okay, chalo. So let us start with this. I hope you guys are there. Notebook, process costing. Last question I will talk about. Chalo. Now understand. Again, this is important one. The solution I will explain how it is solved. Karke. Let us come to the next part. Okay, now. As and when this question comes, it can come for 10 marks, guys. It can come for 10 marks, understand? For that matter, at the end, it will, here it will be written like, sorry, just a second. Let me just clear these things. Okay. Where is that question? Sorry, my mistake. That question is this: inter-process profit. Okay, sorry. This is AXA Limited. Let us start with this. See, it is written at the end. Prepare process account. Okay, sorry. We will make process account and finished goods account. So 2 process accounts will be made and 1 finished goods account will be made. Generally, process account is prepared for 10 lines if it is a normal question. But if there are process costing has 3 parts. If you refer my summary notes, drive ka link is there in the description. So process costing has 3 parts. The third part is inter-process profit. There is only one question. It can come for 10 marks. Let us revise this. Okay. Now you will make this account for 15 lines. You will make this account for 15 lines. And you will make finished goods account for 10 lines for that matter. Okay. Please. It is highly recommended. If you know the link that is question number in the study material, do let me know so that others will be benefited from that. Or in simple words, I can say just download this. Illustration number 6. Okay, this is illustration number 6. Okay, fair enough. So now let us start with this illustration number 6. Maybe there was some problem with this tab, I think. Okay, let's see this. Chalo. Now if I solve the question, illustration number 6, understand this. Here we go. You just make one account in the rough. Already a fair solution you will be having. Just one make account in the rough. Okay, for 15 lines. Okay, and you will have to make 3 columns. So just make rough में 3 columns. Okay. Or I can say, yeah, like this, just make 3 columns and let's go with this now. Chalo. So the account is made for 3 columns we will say. Now, I will say that process A account. Yeah, process A account. I will say that particulars. Then there is one cost column. Then you will add profit and then it will give you total column. Cost, profit and total. Again, I will say particulars, then I will say cost, then I will say profit, and then I will say total. Okay, perfect, sir. Chalo. Now let us try to understand. Once the formatting is done, let us start with this. You will understand with me, just solve with me, okay? I want you should practice also with me. Okay, so please do this. Chalo. Now if I read this question, it is said that there is A Limited who is producing product AXE. Okay, sir. Question number 12, which is illustration number 6 in the study material. I will recommend download these PDFs only and refer those. It will save time instead of searching the question in study material. Okay. It has 2 processes and then it becomes finished goods. Time pass line. Okay. Whatever is your opening stock, sir, where do you record opening stock? Opening stock is recorded on the debit side. So you will say 2 opening stock. Just write 2 opening as of now, just for understanding. Opening stock it is. Sir, 7,500. Always write in the total column. Does it have any profit? No. You will understand the importance of this column. Sir, when do you understand the importance of this column? You will understand importance of profit column when we come to the process B account. In the initial stage, you won't understand. Just write with me. Okay, opening stock. Then there is a direct material, there is a direct labor. So I will say 2. Okay, just write direct material, just write direct labor first in the total column 15,000. Then right here it is 11,200. Perfect. There is no profit in between. So again it is 15,000, 11,200. But sir, now there is a twist. Generally, after material and labor, what comes is prime cost. If you understand, just to give you that idea, please understand that after direct material, direct labor, what comes is prime cost. That is direct expenses also there. Then comes prime cost. Then if you add factory overhead, it comes gross factory cost. Then you adjust your WIP, add opening stock of WIP less closing stock of WIP, and then you get your factory cost. Something that we discuss in cost sheet. Okay, that is how it is done. Now if I see here, this time there is one line which is mentioned in the question. Sir, what is mentioned? It is mentioned that stock in the process is valued at prime cost. It means adjustment of stock. When I see this, WIP is valued at factory cost. It means you will add factory overhead, then it will be adjusted. Ajay sir, finished goods is valued at cost of production. That's why after cost of production, you add less finished goods and you get the value. It is valued at this value. Based on this value, it is the valuation is done. Now, Here it is specifically mentioned that the stock is valued at prime cost. It means I will tell you this. Here your adjustment of closing stock will come after this only. You will add this, you will get gross prime cost. Now this is gross prime cost. So if I add this 7,500, 15,000, 11,200, guys, you will get 33,700. You will get 33,700. Here only you will have to adjust your closing stock. Adjust your closing stock. Just write full form closing stock. I am writing a shortcut. Sir, your closing stock is kitna? 3,700. Acha, after adjusting this, you will get net cost. Net prime cost that you will get, net prime cost. Alternative presentation, you can show the closing stock on the credit side. It's been many attempts institute used to subtract from debit side. In the last attempt they have shown it on the credit side. Both presentations are appropriate. Okay sir, now it will become 30,000. It will become 30,000. Achha sir, there is one more cost which is yet to be adjusted. You got the net prime cost. Now write your factory overhead. Sir, what is the factory overhead? Your factory overhead is 10,500. Just write it down. 10,500, 10,500. Acha, adding this will give you the total cost, total production cost. What is your total cost? So 30,000 plus this, it will give you 40,500, 40,500. So as a process A, I will say that I have incurred this much cost, 40,500. Sir, what is the twist? What is something which is different in this question? It is mentioned that in this question that sir, process 1, as and when it produces something, the output of process 1 is transferred to process 2. Okay sir, but sir, at 25% profit on transfer price. Sir, why it is transfer price? I am not selling the goods, I am transferring the goods, and while transferring I am adding 25% profit. Okay, so now I would like to know the profit. I have got the cost, I would like to know the profit. Sir, how will I get this profit? Simple, just make this working. Cost plus profit will give you transfer price, that is at price at which you will transfer, and it is specifically mentioned profit is 25% on the transfer price. It means if transfer price is 100, your profit is 25 and you will get cost of 75. Yes sir, understandable, reverse working, that is okay. Sir, out of these three things I know one thing, which is this 40,500. Okay sir, just cross multiply and get your profit. So sir, 40,500 into 25 divided by 75. Sir, I got 13,500 ka profit. It is a profit. So I have written in the profit column, okay, second column, and cost plus profit, nothing. So you will add this over here and you get your total value. Okay, so it is 40,500, 13,500, and total value at which you sold the goods to the, or you have transferred the goods is 54,000. Sir, it will be transferred to, sir, it will be transferred to the next process, which is process 2. Whatever you have written, the same value will appear. I am not writing, even you should understand, same value will appear, and then here you will write again same value by output transferred to next process. This was process 1. Now you will transfer this output to process 2. Okay sir, what value you will write? So same value which was there here, it was 40,500, 13,500, and then 54,000. So yeah, these values will appear over here. So this is closure of A account. Now let us come to process B. Chalo. Now when you make process B, yeah, thank you so much Sarthak. Okay, now sir, the way you have made process 1 account, we will have to make process 2 account same, 15 lines and same format. So let us make that account again here. So please, you have to solve with me, because it is like you should be done with me. Okay sir, we are done with you only in this marathon. Okay, so I'm taking important questions, so please make the format. Fatafat, don't waste your time. Pay attention here. Okay, so yeah, here we go. Chalo. So now here we go. So we have made the format. Sir, it is my process 2 account. Sorry, process B account. Sir, again, particulars, quantity, sorry, cost, profit, total cost. Particulars, cost, profit, total cost. Okay, chalo, let us start. Sir, first thing you need to understand, first thing is the opening stock. So first starts with opening stock. So now again, if I divide the page here and if I check this opening stock to opening stock, so I will write to opening stock. So what is the value of opening stock? Always write the value in the total column first, 9,000. So now it has a twist. So why there is a twist? This 9,000 includes some opening stock. See, it is written, if I read this here, it is written that inter-process profit included in opening stock. Sir, what is this? Please try to understand. Let us say I am process 1. I am process 1. I am producing goods at 100 rupees. I am adding 20 rupees ka profit and it is being at 120. Now this stock is purchased by process B at 120 rupees. Now this stock is lying in the godown. Is it sold? No. So what is the value of this? Even though process B says that the cost of this is 120, but from company's perspective, this 120 includes 20 ka profit and cost to the company is only 100. Okay, it is internal profit. Company has not earned that yet. Okay, same way, so I can say that when it is process 2, it will say that I have 9,000 ka goods, but when earlier process has transferred this goods, there was profit of 1500. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we will cover those, no idea about this. So now there is a 1500 ka profit, guys. Let us come here. I will just write down, sir, 1500. Now I will say out of 9,000, sir, 1500 you need to subtract and you will get this 7,500 as your cost. First, you need to write the value here. You have to ask, does it include any profit? Yes. Subtract this. Earlier process must have added that and it is written in the question. Okay. Sir, then after what comes? Generally, you will write material and labor, but it is subsequent process. Input will also come from the earlier process. So first you will have to write process 1. Input will come from process 1 account. So you will copy this. See what is appearing over here. That is this. 40,500 is your cost, 13,500 is your profit and 54,000. Okay. So now understand this. Chalo. After adding this, now you will say normal. Then I have incurred a cost. As a process 2, I have incurred some cost. So I will say 2 material. That is direct material. Then I will say 2 direct labor. Okay, sir. What is the value which is appearing over here? So I will write 54750. Process has incurred. Again, the company has incurred the same amount. It doesn't have any profit in between. So 11250. And now you need to understand there was one sentence in between which was written that stocks are valued at prime cost. When you say stocks are valued at prime cost, 9,000 plus 54,000 plus this, you're gonna get 90,000. Please understand, 90,000. And this value will be 75,000 and this value will be 15,000. Please try to understand this. Okay. Now can I say that this is the thing, that total cost is 90,000. It includes total value is 90,000. It includes 15,000 ka profit and 75,000 is the cost for the company. Now, if I talk about closing stock, because it is gross prime cost and your closing stock is valued at prime cost now. So you will adjust this. You have a closing stock of 4,500. Does it include any profit? Yes, because out of this 90,000, this 4,500 are there. Okay, so if this 90,000 has a profit of 15,000, accordingly, what is the profit this 4,500 will be having? It is not directly given in the question, but you have to calculate by cross multiplying. So just cross multiply the things, 4,500 multiplied by 15,000 divided by 90,000. So you will get 750 ka profit. Please understand this. And 4,500 minus 750, you will get 3,750 then. How did you get this? As a cross multiplication. Please understand that 90,000 has 15,000 ka profit. So 4,500 has this much profit. Okay. Because it is closing stock, it will be subtracted and you will get net prime cost. Sir, 75,000 minus 3,750, you will get 7,1,250. Then please subtract, do not add. It is a closing stock. 15,000 minus 750, you will get 14,250. Then 90,000 minus 4,500, you will get 85,500. Yes, sir. Understandable. Now, sir, this is something which is this. Now you will have to add factory overhead. Sir, what is the value? 4,500. Yes, sir. 4,500. Yeah, it is the value of this. See, factory overhead ka value is 4,500. Just write it down. 4,500 is the value. Okay. The total column, and it doesn't have any profit included. So yeah, add this, you will get total cost. Now 71250 plus 4,500, you will get 71250 plus 4,500, sir, 75,750, 14,250 and 90,000. Now sir, there is a twist. There is very high possibility Prachi, it will not match because the institute has given the closing stock effect on the credit side only in this attempt. In the earlier attempt, it used to subtract from the debit side. So it will not match, but at the end it will tally. Do not worry about that. Okay. Because they have given this effect on the credit side, Prachi. So do not worry about that. It is right solution. If you refer RTP or earlier modules, you will check. It was subtracted from the debit side. Both presentations are right. Do not worry about that. Okay. Now, once this is written, now understand a very difficult adjustment. Students get confused for that matter. So now you need to add profit. Okay, so it is quite confusing. So be very careful with this. Sir, profit is when process 2 is transferring the goods to the next process. to the finished goods, which is because process 2 is the last process. So sir, it is adding 20% profit over transfer price, 20% profit. So if I make the calculations, cost plus profit is equal to transfer price. So I will say that profit is 20% on the transfer price. If transfer price is 100, it has a profit of 20, your cost will become 80. Very much understandable, sir. Cost will become 80. Now, what I need to do? Sir, what I need to do is, I need to write down my cost. You will do one mistake. We'll write down this cost. No, sir. You are a process and you are going to decide the selling price. Please try to understand, there is high possibility you will make mistake for that matter. Understand. You are a process too. Now understand this here otherwise. Okay. Now understand this. There is a cost column plus profit column is equal to transfer price. So it has 80 plus 20 is equal to 100. Now you will say cost plus profit is equal to transfer price, which is 80, 20 is equal to 100. It is appearing in your process 2 ka input. Let us say this is input. So it is appearing, and it was appearing on the credit side of the process A account, that it has transferred 80, 20, 100, which is directly appearing on the debit side as an input. Now as a process 2 manager, if you are selling this product and you want to add 10 rupees ka profit, you will add 10 rupees ka profit on 80 rupees, or you will add 10 rupees ka profit on 100 rupees. On 100 rupees, because for process 2 manager, this is the cost for the company. Hello, please understand, this 80 is the cost for the company, but for a process 2 cost is this 100, and it will add profit on this value, that I need to add 10, I need to earn 10 rupees ka profit, and then it will sell it for 110. And you won't say this ki 80 plus and I will sell it for 90. No, you have paid 100 rupees while buying. So please understand, this 54,000 is the cost for process. So this total column represents, I hope that is understandable in very shortcut way, this is cost of process B, and this cost is cost of the company actually. So as a process 2 manager, you will say this is my cost, okay, and your cost is 90,000. In shortcut, I am trying to give you the idea. I hope that is understandable. If yes, do let me know in the chat box that sir, it is understandable. Now if I just cross multiply, and then I will get this value. Do not write 75750 as your cost. Always write it from the total column. Total column represents cost of the process, and cost column represents cost of the company. Your process 2, you have to add a profit. You will add it on your cost. Okay, 90,000. I hope that was not confusing. Yeah, 22,500. The profit will be added. 22,500, the profit will be added, and then it is easy. You're gonna take the total and you will be having 75750 14250 plus 22,500, and then this is 36,750. Okay, 90,000 plus 22,500, which is 1125. Shubham, okay, we will try to do that. Okay, so this is something which is understandable. Now it will be transferred to the next process, and it will be transferred where? By finished goods. So same thing will be transferred to the finished goods. Now this value. Now if I come to the finished goods account, it is something which you need to pay attention to. Sir, what should be done to that? Okay, now understand. Sir, if I make finished goods account, it will be made again for this lines, 10 lines. So try to understand this. What can be done for that? Process finished goods account. It will be made for 10 lines, again same particulars in 3 columns. Now, first of all, do we have some opening stock for that matter? Yes, we do have a opening stock. To write down this, and it does have some profit. So we'll write down 2 opening stock. So when you write down 2 opening stock, 22,500 in the total column, it has a profit. It has a profit of 8250, inter-process profit. 8250. So what is the cost? 22,500 minus 8250, and your cost will become 14250. Your cost will become 14250. Okay, cost, profit, and then your total wala column. Now you will add input from the earlier process. If I talk about input from the earlier process, so this is going to be the input from the earlier process. Now there is what twist which is there. So please understand, once you write this is input from earlier process, this is input from process B, because it was output. Now when you take the total, please, now in finished goods you are not going to incur any expense. In finished goods you are not going to incur any expense, but it is written that there is a closing stock of 11250. You will say, sir, let us add those 2 things, let us cross multiply. There is no other expense which is there, but sir, it is specifically mentioned in the question that, sir, finished goods is valued at the price which it is received from process 2. Okay, so what they want to say, when I want to sell, first I will sell this opening stock, then whatever remains, that remains from this process 2 only, process B only. So whatever is the stock which is there, it is always from the process 2. because opening stock is sold. So I will simply do this. It means finished goods is valued at process 2. So 11250, I will directly cross multiply. I will not take the total of opening plus process 2 and then cross multiplication. No, I will do it here itself. 11250 into 36750 divided by 112500. It will come to 3675. Please understand, this is closing stock. You just need to take process 2 ka things into consideration because it is valued at process 2 ka data. Okay, there is a closing stock. Nothing else is there. So you just need to subtract this. Okay, so 11250 minus 3675 and you get value of 7575. Subtracting this, you will get your final values. That is 14250 plus 75750 minus 7575. You will get 82425. Okay, sir. Then 8250 plus 36750 minus 3675. You will get 41325, and here 22500 plus, yeah, just subtract the things, you will get this value. Okay, now you will do what? You will sell, you will add profit to this, and then you will get the sales value. Okay, once the profit is added, you're gonna get the sales value. But there is one benefit that directly they have given us the selling value, that is 1,40,000. So you can easily get the profit. Sales value is given in the question, 143750. 1,40,000 minus 123,750. You will get this value 16250, which is your profit 16250. Adding this will give you 82425, and here if you add 57575, and this entire thing will be written on the credit side as buy sales, the same values. These three values will be written. I hope you have understood this, and we are done with this question also. Inter-process profit, I am trying my level best to explain you in the minimum time. Okay. So if I come to this, we are done with the inter-process profit wala question. I highly recommend tomorrow also, if you get time, just revise once. That is how the question was solved. You're already having questions and solutions with you. Drive ka link is there. Okay. Now understand. Having done this, now we're gonna solve equivalent FIFO method ke questions. Okay. Now there is one thing which I would like to tell you. Every faculty has a different way to explain this. Okay, FIFO wala part. I will solve as per my methods, and yeah, you should understand that all the steps are written in our summary notes which are there. Okay, let us go with this. Is it all over India? No, I didn't get you. Sir, can you explain once? Okay. Now let us go with this. I hope that was understandable. Now equivalent output. I am trying my level best to explain you the things in the minimum time. Now let us go with this inter-process FIFO method. Now what you should do, I will just tell you. Closing stock would be subtracted, right? Yes, Ritesh, closing stock will be subtracted. Chalo, now let us go with the FIFO method. Let us just build up something and let's try to solve the FIFO methods ke questions, okay? So that it will help you out as to how and what should be done karke. Okay, understand. I will just give you the steps, just follow those and you will get your answers. So everybody, come to this question number 5 over here. Maybe 5 is very easy. Maybe a second, let me check. Yeah, everybody come to question number 5. As I tell you, just solve this with me and you will get the idea as to how the FIFO method works karke. Okay, just solve with me one by one. Fatafat. Now, normally process account has 3 parts. We did third part where account is made for 15 lines in process account. Otherwise, generally process account is made for Praveen, all over India. Is it all over India? Yes. Now understand. So now let us do one thing. Yeah, it is for all over India or all India students, we can say. Chalo, let us do one thing. Can anybody let me know the question number 5 in study material? Which question is this? A second, is it VAM method? So sorry, it is VAM method. Sorry. Let me just go with the FIFO method. Yeah, it is there. Okay. Chalo. So let's go with this question. That is this method. Okay, equivalent output ka question number 8. Let us go with this question number 8. Sorry, question number 8. Let us go with this. Chalo, question number 8. If I just talk about how you gonna solve that question, let's try to understand. FIFO method, chances are there it can come in the examination. So let us try to solve this, guys. Let us try to solve this question number 8. Step number 1. Sir, let us make the process account. Chalo, let us make the process account for 10 lines. Sir, how many columns? Only 2 columns. So just make 2 columns over here. What is happening? A second. Okay, fair enough. So let us make 2 columns over here. Let's make this. Okay, chalo. Now after doing this, chalo. So now the columns are made. Now I will say that this is your process account. Okay. Chalo, let us start with this. Now if I start the question, step number 1 is very easy. Read entire question. Process account is made for 10 lines, particulars. There is one column, quantity ka data is also there, amount, particulars, quantity, amount. Let us start with this. Okay, chalo, let's start with this. Sir, now if I read this, let's see, I don't know the time by till what time we gonna conduct this. Till the time you guys are there with me, I will conduct the marathon. Chalo, let's start with this. Now, if I just talk about this, sir, there is process 1. Okay, I have written process 1. There is a opening stock, WIP type question. Equivalent output will be there. So first write down to opening WIP. So first I'm gonna write down opening WIP. Be very fast. You have to write with me. There are 600 units. Okay, sir. The cost of which is 4,200. Okay, sir. Now there is a degree of completion which is given, which will be helpful later on. As of now, it is not important. Input material. It is a cost. It will be written on the debit side. So you're gonna write down input material. Sir, what is the cost? The 9,200 is your input, and your cost is 55,200. Done, sir. Then please do practice. You should write with me. Then there are direct wages, and then there are overheads. Okay. If I talk about direct wages, it is 18,600. And if I talk about overheads, it is this value, that is 8,630. Okay. Now, Jai, I can't say anything, but yeah, we can expect this, that we should get better marks. Correct? Yeah. Now understand. Now we can say that direct wages are written, overheads are written, unit scrap. Always remember, you can ignore this information because the way we design our steps, this information can be ignored. Unit scrap, it is actual law. Let us ignore this. Always remember, in this question you can ignore this law. After there is a closing stock, it will be written on the credit side, but there is a process to write. First we should always write normal loss. Then you have to leave 2 lines if it is better. So by normal loss ke baad you gonna write by actual output transferred to next process, that is output transferred to next process, output transferred to next process, which is okay. Maybe I'm thinking about that, Rishabh, but nothing decided yet. Output transferred to next process. Let's see this. Chalo, now let's see this. Now if I go here, there is a closing stock, there is a closing stock of 700. So I'm going to write by 700, by closing stock. So there is a closing stock of 700 units. Yes, sir. Now, sir, degree of completion is given. We will use it later on. 8,900 units are completed and transferred to the next process. So 8,900 will be appearing on the credit side. These are transferred to the next process. And there is a normal loss of 4% of total input, which is if only input is written, this 4% will be calculated on 9,200. If only input is written, it is written total input including opening WIP. It means normal loss will be calculated like this: 600 plus 9,200 multiplied by 4% of that. So if I do that, 600 plus 9,200 into 4%, that comes to 600 plus 9,200 into 4%, that comes to 392. Yeah, everybody. Now, if I sell it in the market, I will get 6 rupees as a scrap value. So I will say 392 into 6. The value which I will generate as a scrap is this: 2352. Okay, sir, understandable. Now you are required to prepare many other things, and at the end you will have to follow FIFO method. Okay, sir. So sir, what is the step number 1? Step number 1 is read the question. I will say, and fill up the process account. We are done with that. Read the question, fill up the process account. Step number 2, all steps are written in the summary notes. Google Drive mein there is a link for that matter. Please refer that link. It would be very much helpful. Okay. Now, step number 2 is close the process account. Step number 2 is close the process account. Let us try to close the process account. 6 quantity column, only quantity column. So 600 plus 9,200, that is gonna be 9,800 this side. Then here if I do 392 plus 8,900 plus 700, that value will be 999. So it is gonna be 9992. Okay. So minus 9,800, there will be a difference of 192. Okay, 192. Okay, so here it will be abnormal gain. Let me just show you the things so that it would be really helpful to you. So let me just do that. One second. Yeah, costing, then summary notes. Then if I just talk about process costing, let me just go to this process costing wala part. So it would be helpful. You can see this process costing. Process costing, there are 3 types of questions. We are done with inter-process profit. Now after that we are doing this process account with a WIP. In this case there are 2 methods. I am going with the FIFO method. If you just talk about the steps, step number 1 is read the entire question and fill up the process account. Step number 2, if I just talk about close which column, you will have to close quantity column so that you can get abnormal gain or abnormal loss. Whatever it is, you will get it. Okay, now chalo. Having done this, once you get abnormal gain or loss, you have got abnormal gain because it is on the debit side. If the balancing figure is on the credit side, it will be abnormal loss in that case. Okay, logics are explained in much detail in the regular lectures or fast track lectures. Still, I'm trying to give you the things which can be given. Okay, now 3 statements, guys, you're gonna make 3 statements. The one statement will be equivalent production statement, one statement will be CPU statement, and one statement will be cost statement. Okay. Pooja, previous question mein what is the doubt? You can let me know. Now understand. So guys, let us write down one thing which is statement showing equivalent production. So now we are going to write statement showing equivalent production. Write down this equivalent production. Okay. So let us write down statement showing equivalent production. Acha, when I write down this here, understand this. We're gonna make the format like this. Then we will take a break also once we are done with this part, a small break. And then yeah, so like this you will draw 2 lines. Then you can leave 6 lines in between. 6 lines you will leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you will write like this. 6 lines in between, yeah. And then this is fixed. One particulars column will come, one quantity column will come. Then sir, how many columns will come? It depends. How many expenses are there on the debit side? Excluding opening WIP, if you see, there are 3 things: input, material, wages and overheads. So 3 columns you will have to make. 3 columns you will have to make. Column number 1, sir, column number 2, and then it will have 2 sub columns. So just make the format like this. This is gonna be particulars. This is going to be quantity. This is going to be material. This is going to be labor. This is going to be overhead. Then it is percentages units, or percentages quantity, percentages quantity, percentages quantity. Okay, just to give you the idea, in the second wala part, how did I get the profit? Just to give you the idea, you got the cross multiplication. To get this value, you have written this 90,000 over here, and you have cross multiplied 90,000 into 20 divided by 80, and then you got the profit. I hope that is helpful because 90,000 is the cost of the process. Okay, now understandable. Okay, it's 25%, no? Or 25% was to process 1 ka, it was process 2 ke liye the profit is 20% if you check in the question. Okay, now chalo, let's come to this. Okay, here if I go, sir, here, what we gonna write? First, write down this. You need to get this value, and this value. So write down those 3 things. First, you will write by output transferred to next process. So I will write by output transferred to next process. Done, sir. FIFO is quite difficult, so please try to understand. Output transfer to next process. Then this will be divided into 2 parts. This is A part. It will have 2 parts. We will say 1 and 2. Okay. First, understand, if it is a FIFO method, what will you say? Sir, I have produced 8,900. So when I say that I have produced 8,900, first I will produce from what? FIFO. First in, first out. First is opening, first you will finish that. So first you will finish opening stock. So I can just say that in this case, first you will utilize it from this. So 8,900 units are there. Total 8,900 units are there. Okay, these are 8,900. First you will complete opening WIP. To understand, you will complete opening WIP, and then you gonna complete other things which is started in the this year, started and completed. Understand this. So when I said opening WIP, first you're gonna finish this 600 units. Yes, sir. But sir, total 8,900 I have produced. Out of this 600 is from opening WIP. So 8,900 minus 600. Sir, I have produced 8,300 during this year. Started also in this year, completed also in this year. Okay. Then I need to get the value of the second part, which is closing WIP. Okay. Which is closing WIP. If I just talk about this, it is 700. Okay. And then there is a C, which is abnormal gain, which is written, which is 192. Okay. Because abnormal gain is there, it is on the opposite side. You can check this. This is abnormal gain. So this gain is appearing on the opposite side. So it should be subtracted mathematically. I can tell you logics are explained in much detail, but mathematically you should understand it is on the opposite side. So when you make a statement, you need to subtract. Ha sir, understandable. Om Patil, please check the description link. Google Drive link is there in the description where all the entire textbook is there. You can just download that. Okay. Now understand this. Once this is written, now how you gonna get the values for that matter? To understand that, you will say, sir, opening WIP. You would like to know what is the work done in the current period. What is the work done in the current period? Try to understand how will you get this. What is the work done in the current period? So just if I talk about opening WIP, try to understand. If I talk about opening WIP, sir, these goods were there on the beginning, in the month of October at the beginning. So material was already done. Sir, labor was 60% completed and overhead was 60% completed. During this year, I completed this 600 units. Everything come to 100%. Everything came to 100%. So nothing is done on the material. It was already 100% complete. During this year, on this already it was 60% complete. I have completed balance portion. So I will say 40% karke. So I will say that. Please check the link in the description in detail. You will definitely get the description link. Please check the Telegram channel and even Google Drive link is there. PDF notes. Hello, please check that. Okay, now understand. So now if I do this here, what will I say? I have done remaining 40% work. Yes, sir. So you will say that. You will say like this. Ki sir, acha, ye to you just need to remember for that matter. If it is opening WIP, if it is opening WIP, sir, we will remember like this. If it is opening WIP, because it is FIFO method, you will say whatever percentages are given, do not write that, minus from 100 and then write the balance percentages. So what is given in the question? Sir, for opening WIP, what is given is 100, 60, 60. So you will write nil, 100 minus 100, 0, then 60. So you did remaining portion which is 40%. You did remaining portion which is 40%. Then if I go ahead, sir, if I go ahead, then what about 8,300? Sir, 100% work is done. So I will write 100%, 100%, 100%. Entire work is done because all 8,300 units started from 0 and complete all 800 units, 0 to 100%. Entire work is done. Actually, if I talk about closing WIP, started from 0, sir, started from 0. If I talk about closing WIP, started from 0 but completed up to 100%. So entire material ka work is done. Okay, labor ka work up to 70% is done, overhead ka work up to 70% is done. Achha, when this closing WIP becomes opening WIP in the next year, then you will do the remaining work. As of now, up to 170 came in this year because this is the work you did. Now, in the next year, you will do remaining work. 0 work will be done, 30% work will be done, 30% will be done. Okay. Okay, now understand. So now once you do this, let us write down this. Acha, if it is abnormal gain, you just need to remember one rule. Please, if it is abnormal gain, you need to remember one rule that this, and then there is a closing WIP. If I talk about closing WIP, guys, the whatever is given you have to write. For abnormal loss, if it is on the debit side, it will be abnormal loss. And if it is abnormal loss, you need to understand whatever percentages are given, you will refer those. And if nothing is given about abnormal loss, you can take 100%. Only there is one question in this RTP or MTP where they have taken some other percentages, but anything can be assumed if question is silent. So if there is abnormal loss, you will assume it as 100%. If question says some percentages, use those. Acha, if it is abnormal gain, you need to remember two rules. If it is abnormal gain, you need to remember two rules. It is always 100% complete. That is why it is gain. And it should be subtracted because it is on the opposite side. That is something which would be understandable for us. If it is gain, so for all aspects, I have given the rules what should be followed. Okay. So if I come here and if I write it down, sir, here it is going to be 100%. It is going to be 100%, 100%, 100%. So first, two rules for abnormal gain. It is 100% complete and it is subtracted. Let us write down 600 into 40%. It is 240, 240. Please practice these questions with me. Then this is 8,300. This is 8,300. This is 8,300. Okay. Then this is 700. Then 700 ka 70%. That is 490. 490, then it is 192, 192, 192. Chalo. But if it is abnormal gain, it should be subtracted. There is a high possibility you will make mistake. Very high possibility you will not subtract that. So please do that carefully. Sir, having done this, 8,300 plus, this is gonna be 8808. Then it is 8838 if you see, and this is gonna be 8838. Okay. Now, having done this, I have got my quantity, which is first part. Sir, now, sir, what is my cost per unit? So now next statement will be statement showing cost per unit. So let us write down with me cost per unit. Okay. Sir, how many costs are there? Three types of costs are there: material, labor and overhead. So if I check the debit side of the process account, after opening WIP, there are three things. So material, labor and overhead. First you will write what is the cost incurred during current period, that is cost incurred. Cost, what is the incurred in the current period, because it is a FIFO method. So these three costs you will write down in the process account debit side. Whatever three costs are appearing, you will write down on the yahan pe, one by one you're gonna write it down. For material, sorry, it is this much. For labor, it is this much. For overheads, it is this much. For material, I recommend you should always subtract what? Scrap from there. You should always subtract scrap, then you will get net cost. Hello. You should always subtract scrap and then you're gonna get the net cost. Why it is not working? A second. Okay. So minus scrap and then you're gonna get the net cost. So do we have any scrap value on the credit side? Yes, definitely. It is, if you see the scrap value, it is going to be 2352. Just come on the debit side, sir. 2352. Subtract this and you will get the net cost. Okay, sir. Having done this, I will get my net cost, which is 52,848. 52,848, then 18,600. And then 8360. Now this will be divided by equivalent product. This will be divided by equivalent production. This will be divided by equivalent production, which is calculated earlier in the earlier statement. So whatever cost I have incurred, by incurring this cost in the current period, I have produced this many units. So whatever cost I have incurred in the current year, the worker has produced 8838 units. 8838 units. And whatever cost we have incurred in the current period, we have incurred this much on this many units. So just divide by this and you will get CPU. And always remember, it is ICAI, and ICAI always keeps 3 decimals. So when you calculate CPU, it should be up to 4 decimals. So please get it. 52848 divided by 8808. It is 6, sir. Perfect. 18600 divided by 8838. You will get 2.1045. Then 8630 divided by 8838. Sir, you will get 0.9765. Perfect, Ji. I hope that is understandable. So that is your CPU. Just get one more thing. So let's calculate total CPU. So just add everything and get the value. Okay, 6 plus 2.1045. Please calculate with me. You should practice with me only. You won't be getting time later on. Okay, this is something that you're gonna incur in the current period. Okay, sir. Now understand this. Having done this, I can just say that you got total CPU. Now, sir, the next statement is multiplication of above two statements. Like, I didn't get it, sir. Sir, now this is something I will just do it here. Chalo, let us solve this only. Now, this much time we have invested. So now let's next statement. Statement showing distribution of cost, or I can say apportionment of cost, which is nothing but multiplication of above two statements. So first you're gonna write this. That is output transferred to the next process. So let's write down A part. I want to get this value, which is output transferred to next process. Okay, sir. When I say output transferred to next process, so how many units we have transferred, which is 8,900. It is divided into two parts. A part is opening WIP. If I talk about opening WIP, I would like to know what is the work done in the current period. So I will write down material, labor and overheads. What is the work done in the current period? So remaining work we have done. Whatever remaining material, nothing was remaining. 60% was already done. We have done remaining 40% work. So 240 units ka work, 240 units ka work we have done. So I am going to write down. Okay, Pankaj. Okay, so now it is going to be guys 240 and 240, and then you're gonna multiply with the CPU, which is going to be this, CPU with which you're gonna multiply, and you will get your value. But let me tell you one thing, by doing this you will get cost which is incurred in the current period. Let me get the final value directly. If you multiply this, you will get 739 by multiplying this. But sir, what is the catch over here? This is cost incurred in the current period to do the remaining work. But sir, see, it is like a cake. You have done some work on the cake in the earlier day. 60% work was done yesterday. You incurred 600 rupees on that cake. Today you did 40% work and you incurred 400 rupees. What is the cost of the cake? You won't say cost of the cake is 400. You will add previous period ka cost also. Then you will get the total cost of that cake. Yes, sir. Same way, I will say that some cost was incurred in the previous period also, and that accounts to 4,200. You have to come here, and there is high possibility you will forget this. So please, You need to add last year ka cost also, last period ka cost also, which is 4,200, which will come from the debit side of the process account. Hello, 739 plus 4,200, you will get 4,939. Now, once this is done, there is one more thing which is there. What, sir? This 8,900 has two parts. One is from opening WIP. Yes, sir, we are done with this. Now, second one is started and completed, 8,300 units. So, I'm gonna write down started and completed. How many units, sir? You're gonna write down 8,300, which is started and completed. Acha, when I say started and completed 8,300 units, what is going to be the value? Dekho, you have one thing. If you understand the mathematics, you can do individually. 8,300 into CPU, 8,300 into CPU, 8,300 into CPU. Okay, but 8,300 is common. So directly you can do 8,300 into this value instead of doing individually. So I will do 8,300 into total CPU, which is 9.081. That to produce 1 unit, sir, 9.081. This is my cost for 1 unit. I have produced 8,300 units. So I will get the value of this 75372. Disha, you got the value like this. आपने यहाँ का cost निकाला, यहाँ का cost निकाला. Both were added and you get 739. Multiply these two, multiply these two. This is your quantity, this is your CPU. Multiplying this, you got two values and both values are added and then you got 739, which is incurred in the current period. Okay. Now if I add this, which is 7939 plus 75372, you gonna get 80311. 80311, which is total cost incurred on these units, 8,900 units, which were having two parts, one from opening WIP, one from this. And so that is the value, 80311. Just go to the debit side and write it down, 80311. I got this value, 80311. Okay. Now if it is a closing WIP, how you gonna get the value? Now you know how to get the value. Just take the calculator and just do with me. You're gonna write down that again same. You will say, so 700 multiplied by this, 490 multiplied by this, 490 multiplied by this, and you will get the value, closing WIP ka value. Just don't forget, even for opening WIP you do the same thing, but some cost is incurred on opening WIP in the last period also, so don't forget to add that. That's it. That is the one thing you have to take care of. Chalo, now let us multiply this. First 700 into this, then 490 into this, then 490 into this. So 700 into 6 m plus 490 into 2.1045 m plus 490 into 0.79765 m plus MRC. If you just take the total, the outer column you will be getting value 5709 or 5710, whatever it is. If you either you will write 5709 or 5710, that is okay. 5709 or you will write 10. It depends how you round it off. 10 also you can write down, and then at the end abnormal gain. So abnormal gain, there is a shortcut. You will have to calculate. Okay, first here you will have to show the working. Here you will have to show the working of this also. First A wala part, then B wala part, closing WIP ka working you will show, and then you will show now abnormal gain ka working. Sir, how abnormal gain ka working will be shown? Let us give some idea. Simple. Sir, is it same number of units? Yes, they are same. So I can directly do 192 multiplied by this. Acha, if I do this, what is the value that I will get? 192 multiplied by 9.081. Okay, so you're gonna get abnormal gain ka value as 1744 if you multiply. But sir, because your CPU is in fraction, when you take it as a balancing figure, it will be different. Sir, how you will get abnormal gain as a balancing figure? Just take the total of the debit side. If I take the total, it is going to be 88372. Shrikant, thank you for that matter. Then it is 88372 minus, so 88372 minus 4200 minus 5200, and you will have this value 1742 karke. That is the balancing figure. Okay, so there will be 2 rupees ka difference because of fraction. That is completely okay. I hope that is understandable. Let me know whether that is understandable or not, so that we can start ahead now. After this we can start ahead. Just let me know. Okay, so I hope that is something which you understand, right? Now let us proceed ahead. Let us proceed ahead after this. So this is something, sir, we are done with this. So now please understand the steps. I will just revise the things for you. What we have done here, if I just tell you what we have done here is, we have completed this also. we have completed joint product by product, we have completed inter-process profit wala part, we have completed FIFO method where you need to understand. I will just rapidly revise as to what should be done in the FIFO method. Step number 1, make the process account and transfer all the things. Opening WIP on the debit side, input material on the debit side, labor on the debit side, then wages on that is overheads on the debit side. Okay, quantity and the cost you gonna write down. Acha, then if it then on credit side it comes normal loss, output transfer to the next process and closing WIP will come. Okay, normal loss, you will get the value multiplying the scrap value, you will get quantity, output will be given, closing WIP will be given. Then you're gonna close. Step number 2, you're gonna close quantity column. Once you get that, debit if the balancing figure it is abnormal loss, if it is on the credit side it will be abnormal gain. Now you're gonna make 3 statements. You are going to make 3 statements. Which all statements you will make? Sir, please check what Xavier. Now you're gonna make 3 statements. Sir, you're gonna make 3 statements. Statement showing equivalent production, statement showing CPU, and statement showing multiply cost. It is after multiplying these 2 things you're gonna get this. Now when you make this statement, there will be one column which is particulars column, there will be one column which will be quantity column. Okay, then after doing that, if there is material, labor and overhead and everything, will have 2 columns, percentage is quantity, percentage is quantity, percentage is quantity. It is just a rapid recap as to whatever we have done so that you can revise easily. Okay. नहीं, process 2 का data is not given, so there is no need to make process 2 account success. Sneha, is it enough? You will be doing from the notes. Yes, Sneha, I will be doing from the notes only. Now understand this. Having done this, if I just talk about this, yeah. If I just talk about this, whatever output you have done, whatever output you have transferred, it has been divided into 2 parts, something from opening and something from input material. Okay, opening WIP, whatever percentages are given, let us in the question 60% is given, so you will write 40%. And then if I just talk about started and completed, always 100%. And then if it is closing WIP, whatever percentages are given, just copy those percentages. For closing WIP, for opening, take the balance percentages. If it is abnormal loss, percentages will be given in the question. If it is abnormal gain, always remember you should have to take 100%, and because it is gain, it will be subtracted while calculating your equivalent production. Done, sir. While calculating CPU, material, labor, overhead, first write down the cost which is incurred in the current period. From where will you get? Process account ka debit side, you will get all the cost which is incurred on from the debit side. From that you will subtract the scrap value which is appearing in the credit side of the process account. Just subtract that and you will get the net cost, and then divide by equivalent production which is calculated over here, and you will get CPU over here. Then nothing but cost is nothing but multiplication of these two. It is like this. Opening WIP ka whatever quantity is there, it will be multiplied with the CPU, but do not forget to add one thing, last period ka cost, which will come from here, which will come from here. Output which is transferred, it will come from here, which is transferred. And then started and completed, again you can take directly total units multiplied by total CPU, and then closing WIP, everything you will just multiply. At the end you will take abnormal gain or loss as a balancing figure. And one thing which is important to note is your CPU is equal to 4 decimals. You have to take 4 decimals. Kushal, I didn't get you. No, everything is Aftab is a final solution. You will have to show the, it is not a working node, it is a final solution only. It will be shown. Okay. Having done this, if I come to this, we are done with this process account and joint product by product. Okay. Now, let us come to this, which is cost accounting system, which is integrated and non-integrated. Let us try to understand this. We will one by one try to cover the things which are there. Acha, otherwise, instead of going for this cost accounting system, guys, let us go with this labor costing. Let us try to understand what is there in the labor costing. Let us do that. Okay, and material, one by one we will try to cover the majority of the things for you. Okay, now let's come to this, which is labor costing. Now if I talk about labor costing, try to understand. Okay, labor costing, if I just talk about, I will have to download the PDF. Let's drink some water. Okay guys, now let us start with this. Okay, yeah, we will try to do the many things that whatever is possible from my side, I will try to do that. Okay guys, now let's start with this. Okay, chalo. Now if I start with this, sir, here I come. Sir, the question is now the favorite, and then here we go. Favorites में ICI material, textbook, and textbook में we have to go to the labor costing. So where is that textbook of labor costing? Yeah, it's here. Okay, let me just open here also, favorites, then we'll do those topics, costing, and then yeah, labor costing. Chalo. Now what is important, sir? What is important? What is there? What you feel will come? It is rate per hour. So let us do those questions. Helser-Owen has come many times. There is still always a probability, but yeah, now because it came many times, so now I am going other than Helser-Owen. Yeah. So let us do the questions which are other than Helser-Owen, which is rate per hour wala. So which questions we will have to solve is everybody come to question number 13. Okay, let me explain question number 13 for that matter. Again, it is from the study material. You can always give the reference if you have. Okay, chalo. Let us do question number, no, not 13, एक second, zara, rate per hour na. Okay. Rate per hour question, yeah. Question number 17, again it is from the study material, so just have a look. What is there? Very easy question. That is cost per hour. How to calculate cost per hour? Let us try to understand as to how to calculate cost per hour. Sir, there is Mr. X. Okay, sir, Mr. X is working. Okay, Mr. X is working and he is working for how many days? First, you should always calculate how many days he is working for. So let us come here and let us calculate that. That is question number 17 if I just talk about. So how many days he is working for? So working out number 1 will be this only, hours. Or we can say net hours. So chalo, let us calculate net hours. So I will say that Mr. A works for 2400 hours in 1 year, but out of that 400 hours are non-productive, that is to eat and something, the break he requires. So I can say that what is your productive hours? If I say hours, which hours I am talking about? Productive hours. Okay, so productive hours or net effective hours, whatever you write, these are net hours. So net hours will be 2400 minus 4000 are non-productive, where a worker is not working, so is working only for 2000 hours in 1 year. It is per annum. Okay, now I would like to know what is the payment that I make to my worker, and accordingly I can easily get rate per hour. Let us calculate guys, rate per hour. Okay, now when I say rate per hour, how you gonna get it? You will say sir particulars, and then you will say that total. Okay, chalo dekhte. Let's see. Sir, what is the payment that I make to my worker in 1 year? To understand, you pay him basic wages, then dearness allowance and bonus. So I can say basic, then dearness allowance and then bonus. Achha sir, it is kitna? Into 12 into 12. Just do this into 12 and you will get this. You just do this into 12. So 10,000 into 12 in 1 year you gonna pay 1,20,000. It is illustration number 1. In ICI study material, it is illustration number 1. It is we can say question number 1 in ICI study material. Chalo. Now understand. Then it is 2000 into 12. Yeah, it is going to be 24,000. Okay. Sir, you pay bonus. You pay bonus kitna? 20% of salary and DA. So let us calculate salary and DA ka, which is 1,20,000 plus 24,000, and iska 20% I give as a bonus. So sir, 1,20,000 plus 24,000 into 20%, I will get 28,800. Okay, as a bonus. Understandable. Sir, other allowances. Again, 2,500 into 12 you will have to do. 2,500 into 12, you will get 30,000. Okay, sir, understood. Now PF. Now there is an employer's contribution. As an employer, you are a person and you want to calculate my employee's cost. So what is the contribution that you are making? 10% of salary and DA. So again, that is contribution to PF. If I just talk about 1,20,000 salary basic, and this is DA, and uska 10% you contribute. So 1,20,000 plus 24,000 into 10%, that will come to 14,400. Yes sir. Now if I just take the total, please others can note down the timestamps also, so that it will be helpful to other students guys, and take the total and you get this much. You should get this value. Sir, this is the value we have got. Yes sir. Now it will be divided by net hours. I pay my worker this much and my worker is working for 2000 hours. So for every hour worked, what is the cost that I bear? I pay this much and he is giving me 2000 hours. So the cost here I can say is this much, rate per hour. So this question can be asked, which is hourly cost, effective hourly cost, which is right. Yeah, Shrikant, that is right, 21,720. Now, this is my answer, which is 108.60. Yeah, perfect. Which is your question number 17, which is easily done. Ajay sir, any other question? Let us solve that so that we get thoda motivation, we understand the things. Yes, sir. Acha. So everybody now come to question number 16. Chalo. Again, it is from the study material. Question number 16. Let us solve this. Let us solve this small questions. Rate per hour ke questions can come. We subtract idle time, yeah, to get the net productive hours. Divya, thank you so much for that matter, for commenting. Okay, chalo. Now question number 16, guys, let us come to this. And even those who are watching the video, once the lecture is done, we can always comment below this. Okay, chalo, let us see this. Okay. Now, sir, question number 16, again in the question, they are asking us calculate rate per hour or effective hour, whatever, wage rate per hour. Okay. So first you have to always calculate the hours. So sir, if I read this, again it is which question, you can always tell me. Yeah. Sir, number of working days are 300. So in 1 year, there are some holidays also, Sundays vagara. So my factory is open for 300 days. But sir, out of 300 days, we can say, every day we work for kitna? 8 hours. Now try to understand. Sir, first of all, worker is not going to come to the factory for 300 hours. Out of 300 hours, we give him paid leaves, that you can take leaves for 15 days. It means, can I say that first in working note number 1, if I have to calculate net productive hours, how will I get this? So I will say like this, dekho, there are 300 days, but out of, yes, this is question number 12 in study material, which is illustration number 12, I can say that. Okay. In English, yeah, Banu, thank you. Now understand, illustration number 12. Now, if I just tell you this, those who are behind, they can forward the lecture at 1.5x and they can come live, guys. Okay, now understand. Sir, out of 300 days, worker will take leave for 15 days. Understood, sir. And after taking leave, sir, every day he will work for 8 hours. So out of 300 days, he will take leave for 15 days. Whatever days he will come for, every day he will work for 8 hours. It means he is going to work for 2280 hours in 1 year, which is per annum. Now I would like to know rate per hour. So let us calculate rate per hour now. Rate per hour. Now when I say rate per hour, 5 marks question can come from this. Be very careful. Now when I say rate per hour, I will say particulars and I will say that total column, and now I will write one by one the cost. Chalo. So now if I write one by one the cost, first of all, worker is paid this much 10,000 wages. So when I say basic wages is 10,000, but I need 1 year ka cost, right? Per annum is my window. So 10,000 into 12, sir, you will get 1,20,000. Yes, sir. Understandable. Then there is a dearness allowance, which is again 2,000 into 12. So I will get 24,000. Yes, sir. Understandable. Now, there is one thing. There is a catch. After adding this, whatever answer you get, this is known as wages. That is the salary I pay to my worker. This is basic, and to compensate with inflation, this is dearness allowance. So 1,20,000 plus 24,000. That is 1,44,000. This is the dearness allowance that I pay to my worker as a wages, we will say that. Okay, understandable. Sir, now here we go. There is a worker's contribution to provident fund is 10%. Employer also contributes the same amount as an employee. So employee contributes, employer, that is worker contributes 10%, and as an employer, I am owner, I also have to contribute. So again, this is my cost. So which contribution you will always take? Employer's contribution. So now you will take employer's contribution because you are employer. What is going out of your pocket is your cost. So what is your cost is, let us see this, employer's contribution. This is contribution, whatever is written is employer's contribution. So employer is contributing kitna to PF? 10%, same amount. That is 1,44,000 is wages, basic plus DA into 10%. So that is 1,44,000 into 10%, sir, that is 14,400. That is what I pay. Sir, is there anything that you pay? Yes, sir. There is a ESI, employee state insurance. Employee sky insurance we have done, and for that matter, we have to pay the premium. But sir, there is a twist. Even though 6.5% I have to pay to the insurance company as an employer, okay? Out of that, 1.75% is paid by employees. It means I can say, if I talk about ESI again, it is 1,44,000, but into, as an employer, I am contributing kitna? So I will say, I have to contribute 6.5. Out of this, 1.75 is contributed by employee. So 6.5 minus 1.75. As an employer, I will have to contribute this much. So I will say 1,44,000 into 4.75%, and the value which you get is 6,840. Very much understandable. Okay, sir. and it is firm's practice. So again, we pay bonus also. Okay. Now, it is firm's practice to pay bonus, and bonus is given for 2 months wages as a bonus, Diwali bonus, yeah, whatever it is. So whatever is my salary is 1,44,000 in 1 year, which is wages. 2 months is given as a bonus. Okay, or directly you could have done like this also. 10,000 and 2,000. 12,000 is the salary. 12,000 into 2. 1,44,000. Sanithya, what are the concepts we should focus on? Theory, no idea about theory. We have to focus upon practical. Theory ke liye I don't have any idea. I will simply say that. Okay, just take the total and you're gonna get the total value 1,44,000 as a wages, plus I have to contribute 1,44,000 plus 6,840 plus 24,000. So you're gonna contribute 1,89,240 divided by 2,280 hours worker is going to work for, which is calculated in the earlier working. Yes sir, and if you divide this 2,280, sir, we get 83 as my rate per hour. That's it. So I can say this is my answer, which is 83 rate per hour. Exactly sir. So question 16 is done, question 17 is done. Again, there is one more question which is very easy, question number 15. The questions can come from this part, so I'm doing it, and these are quite easy, so we can do it in a rapid way. Again, it will take 2 minutes. A question for 5 marks can come from this part. Okay, understand. Again, I will do it in a rapid way. First, let us get the hours. If I get the hours, 300 days, out of which 20 days are holidays, and every day you work for 8 hours. So I will say out of 300 days, 20 days you will take as a holiday into 8. So sir, 300 minus 20 into 8, sir, you will get 2,240 hours. Exactly, you will get 2,240 hours. Now, if I want to calculate the cost, I will write down the cost now. So I pay this much into 12, just do this into 12. 10,000 plus 3,000 plus 1,000. Total salary is 14,000. Basic plus DA plus some other benefits you provide, that is French benefits. 14,000 into 12, in 1 year you pay 1,68,000. You will have to write one by one, huh? Basic into 12, DA into 12. I'm just giving you the shortcut. So this much you pay to your workers, 1,68,000. And this much is paid for 2,240 hours. So rate per hour is 75. I hope you got that. Your rate per hour will be 75. Very much understandable, right? So these are the workings for rate per hour, to get your rate per hour, something that we are solving. Okay. Question 15, 16, 17 is done. Now, there is question number 18. It is comparatively tricky. Again, chances are there. I feel that this question can come in your examination. So please mark this as important. This question number 18. I feel this can come in your examination. Question number 18. Let's see this. Chalo, let us see this as to what is there. Karke. Janvi, thank you so much for that matter. Chalo, now let us understand this. Sir, let's do this question, which is very important. It can come in your exam, May 23 paper. There is possibility. Okay. Question number 18. Let us do that. Rate per hour ka question. Question number 18, which is important for examination perspective. You can always tell me it is which illustration. Yeah, I think it is illustration number 2 as said. Okay, let us do this. Now, yeah, let's do this, which is, yeah. Chalo, what is there? First of all, this is little bit tricky, so pay attention to this. Sir, first we need to get what? Working note number 1, hours. Okay, sir. So let us try to get, yeah, lots of love. Yeah, thank you so much. Now, let us get net productive hours. It is little bit tricky, sir. What is tricky in this question? Let me tell you. In this entire question, sir, everything is given only for 1 week. So you have to calculate only for 1 week. In the earlier question, we used to think everything with respect to 1 year. Here you have to think from the 1 week up perspective, because entire data is for 1 week. Okay, sir. Let's read the question one by one. Okay. Chalo, let's read the question. Sir, first of all, in a factory, 6 days in a week and 8 hours each day. So Sunday ko we give chutti, we give holiday to workers. Sunday don't come. Come only for 6 days, Monday to Saturday, and every day work only for 8 hours. Okay, sir. It means I can say that if hours I have to get in a week, in 1 week worker is going to work for how many hours? So I will say that 6 days into 8 hours he is gonna work for. It means total hours, if I just talk about, he is going to work for how many hours? He is going to work for 48 hours. But again, sir, there is a twist. If that worker is coming for 8 hours, sir, he needs some break, not to eat and all. So he needs some break. Sir, what is the break that we give? So we give break, just read this much first. So he is allowed to take 30 minutes off during his hour shift. So shift means 8 hours ka shift. When we say shift, it is one shift which is of 8 hours. 30 minutes break you will take to eat something, and for meal break, and 10 minutes recess for rest. So we give 40 minutes ka break in one day. The 8 hour ka shift which is there in one day, we give 40 minutes ka break. So I will say minus idle time, because I would like to know worker has worked for how many hours. Okay. A worker generally works for how many hours? So I will say that 30 minutes ka break plus 40 minutes, sorry, 10 minutes ka break will come to 40 minutes ka break. This is in one day. Into you will have to do 6 days. So you will get in 6 days what is the break that will be given. But this will be in the minutes. You have to convert into the hours. So just multiply by the 60 minutes. So now 30 plus 10 or 40 minutes ka break will be given into 6 days. This much total break. Divide by 60, that will be converted into hours, and 4 hours ka break you will give. Okay. Now divided by this, you're gonna get 44 hours. Okay, we get 44 hours. So worker generally works for 44 hours. This is normal hours after subtracting normal idle time. That normally we give this break, which we know on very first day. Acha sir, working note number 2, rate per hour. This time they are not asking for rate per hour. Let us get this rate per hour in the working. It will be helpful later on. Rate per hour. So when I say rate per hour, sir, it is very simple. What is the payment that you will make to the worker in 1 week? Because hours are also calculated for 1 week. The hours which are calculated above, that is only for 1 week. So we have to calculate rate per hour, the cost also for 1 week. What is the cost that you pay to your worker in 1 week? So in 1 week, sir, it is written first, you pay, worker is paid 100 rupees per day as a basic. So sir, in 1 week, what is the payment that you will pay basic ka? 100 rupees per day. So 6 days he is working for, you will pay 600. Acha, then you are paying dearness also. Dearness allowance is 120% of basic, so 600, which is your basic. Calculate 120% of that and you get, guys, 720. That is your dearness allowance. Sir, adding this which is 600 plus 720, 600 plus 720, guys, that is gonna give you 1320 as your total wages you pay in a 1 week. Sir, you pay this much in 1 week and worker works for how many hours in 1 week? 44 hours, which is calculated. Generally works for this many hours. That is expected. Okay, 1320 divided by 44. So that is 30 rupees per hour. So this is my normal rate that worker ko I pay 30 rupees per hour. He works for 44 hours. I pay 1 week mein this much I pay, and 44 hours ka, so I can say 30 rupees per hour. Understandable. So you are expecting that your worker will work for 40 hours. Now there is a twist. Sir, what is the twist? Worker, his card, you just saw his card and you came to know that worker has worked for this many hours. So I just took the total. 15 plus 12 plus 13. I came to know worker has worked only for 40 hours. I came to know that worker has worked for 40 hours. Okay, I said, okay, worker has worked for 40 hours. Okay. But sir, I was expecting him to work for 44 hours. So 4 hours is abnormal loss. I was expecting that he will work for 44 hours on very first day. But because I give him some break, which is normal idle time. So 4 hours is abnormal, something which was not expected. 4 hours abnormal time. I was expecting 44, he worked only for 40. So 4 hours is abnormal idle time. The time not booked was wasted while waiting for a job. That one job was done, let us say job X was done. Then he don't know when next job will come, so he has to wait. Now that is something which is not expected, how much time the waste will be there, which is abnormal loss, which is not expected in advance. Please understand. So abnormal loss cannot be recovered from the customer, that we discuss in detail, you know, in foundation also. So if it cannot be recovered from the detail, Rishikesh, that will not be done. We'll discuss in the telegram for that matter. Now understand this. So yahan pe working note number 1 is done, 2 is done. Now let me calculate working note number 3, which is abnormal loss. So what is my loss, sir? How many hours we haven't booked? So I can say that total 44 hours I was expecting. Worker has worked only for how many hours? 40, which can be seen from here. Taking this total, it means 4 hours is your abnormal loss. And per hour ka loss is 30 rupees. You paid 30 rupees to your worker and 4 hours were wasted. It means this loss will be charged to costing P&L. This loss will be charged to costing P&L. And then guys, you will make one statement at the end. They are saying, how will you allocate the wages of the worker for the week? Whatever payment you have made to your worker, how will you allocate between X, Y and Z? So now there is a statement which is allocation wala. Which is main answer they are asking for. So sir, let's write allocation. Acha, so sir, when I write allocation, how it is gonna be done? You will say job X, Y and Z, and then there is abnormal loss, which is transferred to costing P&L. Now you just need to do one thing. You will write down the hours, 15, 12, 13 and 4 hours are wasted. and everything will be multiplied by 30 because 30 rupees you charge when a worker is working for 1 hour. So 30 multiplied by 15 will give you 450, then 12 multiplied by 30 will give you 360, 13 multiplied by 30 will give you 390, 4 multiplied by 30 will give you 120. So 450 plus 360 plus 390 plus 120, that will give you 1320. That is the payment that you made to your worker, 1320. How it will be divided, that we have said कि job XYZ को इतना and abnormal loss you cannot recover from the customer, it will be transferred to the costing P&L. Is this something which is understandable? Let me know. Then you can have some break if you want to eat something or whatever, and then we can start. Hello, if you need some break. This is something that we are done with, guys. Okay, so this is something that we are done with this. Now, what is done in our checklist? Rate per hour is done. Achha, there is one video only. That is also in English only. Study material ka. The link will be given in the description or in the Telegram group. Please join that. Telegram group ke liye you can scan this. One is description, one is channel, and one is discussion group. You can scan this, okay? And you will get that. Okay. So now, after doing this, let us complete this overtime wala one question, and then let us take the break to have some food. You can eat something, and then we can start after that. Hello, what do you say? Now, let us come to overtime ka one question, and then let's take the break. Okay, let's see this, guys. Okay, let's see this. Chalo, let us start with this now. Okay, which is your we will say that overtime wala part. Overtime wala part. Let's understand this overtime wala part now. The break will be given after this. So yeah, please understand this. Sir, let us come to this overtime wala part. Let's see this. I think there is one question that we're gonna do this. Okay, maybe I won't be writing chahiye to for this question. Solution is there. Fatafat I will just give you the concept clarity for question number 20, and then 21 will be done. Maybe 2 questions, and then we will take the break. We will say that we are done for this labor wala part. Okay, chalo, now understand. Yeah, chalo, let's start with this, guys. So now we're gonna start with this question number 20. Understand, there is a Factories Act where the provision is there. Again, it is from the study material. I think illustration something 6, 7. I don't exactly remember the number, but it is from the study material. If you search the name of this, like customer equipment or something, if you search, you're gonna get this question. Okay, chalo, let's see this. Okay, now. This is again from the study material. Let us try to do this. Illustration 4. Yeah, this is illustration number 4, which is question number 4. And let's do this here. Question number 20. Chalo. Now understand what is there. Sir, we have 3 workers A, B, C. So write down A, B, and C. Achha, I would like to know what is the wages per day that I pay to my worker. There are 3 workers, guys. Worker A, worker B, and worker C. Yes, sir. Sir, every worker is getting 200 rupees. And 200 rupees he is getting for 1 day. And 1 day he is working for 8 hours. So what is the rate per hour? Normal rate per hour, basic rate. What is his basic rate per hour, I will say, which is per hour. You can write like this also. So sir, he is getting 200 rupees for 8 hours. So 25 rupees is basic rate. Okay. He is getting 100 rupees in 8 hours. It means he is getting 12.5 rupees. Okay. 300 rupees in 8 hours. It means he is getting 37.5. This is something which is understandable, right? So that we can start ahead. Once you get this 37.5, we just divided by this 200 divided by 8. Now, I would like to get dearness allowance also. I won't go much in detail. I will just directly tell you that the question mate is given directly that dearness allowance is this much. Dearness allowance works out to 968 rupees per month. That is there in this entire paragraph. The dearness allowance for every worker is fixed, irrespective of worker, A worker, B worker, or C worker. We gonna give 968 rupees as dearness allowance in the relevant month. And sir, in that relevant month, worker is working to work for how many hours? So worker is going to work for 176 hours. The total number of hours works out to 176 in the relevant month. It means I am going to pay 968 rupees as dearness allowance to my worker. 968 rupees, and 968 rupees is paid for how many hours? 176 hours is going to work for. It means for every hour work, what is the dearness allowance that I am paying? 968 rupees I am paying for 176 hours. So for every hour worked, I am giving 5.5 a dearness allowance. Just take the total. So you're gonna get the total rate today. You're gonna get the total rate today. Anushka, nothing is decided such. We're gonna study, then we will see. 25 plus 5.5, it is going to be 30.5. 12.5 plus 5.5, it is going to be 18. 37.5 plus 5.5, it is going to be 43. This is your rate per hour, which is total rate per hour. You get total rate per hour, we will say. For every hour, total rate per hour. Now what you will have to calculate? You will have to calculate into equivalent hours. You're gonna calculate equivalent hours. You can just write it down and then you're gonna get the value. What is the equivalent hours? Let us try to understand what is the equivalent hours. Okay, try to understand this. There is a bonus, there is a Factories Act. In Factories Act, there is one provision where it says that if worker works for more than 9 hours, there is one more provision, but institute solves only with the first provision. It means if worker works for more than 9 hours in any day, then he will be paid twice the rate. Sir, we did not get you. Let us give me one. Let's take the example, you will understand. Let us say that worker has worked for 12 hours and my rate per hour is 100. I pay 100 rupees and worker has worked for 12 hours. So there are two ways to calculate. You will say, sir, 12 hours will be divided into two parts. 9 hours will be considered as normal hours and overtime is like 3 hours because normal hours are 9. Above 9, if you do, it is considered as OT. So 3 hours is OT. Acha, for normal hours you will pay 100 rupees, but for overtime hours worker is paid twice the rate. So instead of 100 rupees you will pay your worker 200 rupees. That is what it can be said. So it is gonna be 900, it is gonna be 600, and total payment which will be done will be 1500, which is understandable. Okay, but sir, now institute says nahi sir, we don't want this easy solution. Let's make it some different. Let's make it, or we can say that let's solve it in a difficult way. Institute says that, so this 12 hours will be divided into two parts. Normal hours, 9 hours, and overtime hours will be, yeah, understandable. 12 hours will be divided into two parts and 3 hours. Now institute says that like this, sir, for this 9 hours, I will make the payment to the worker only for 9 hours, that is into 1. But sir, for this 3 hours, so beyond 9 hours if worker is working, the payment will be made at a double rate, or after 9 hours, if worker is working for 1 hour, I will make the payment for 2 hours, as good as 2 hours ka payment. So if worker has worked for 3 hours, I will make the payment for 6 hours, double. It means I will make the payment total for 15 hours, which is known as equivalent hours. Institute does like this. And then multiplied by 100 rupees. Now do not double the rate and you get 1500 rupees. Now, yeah, let's torture the student, we can say that. So that is how we're gonna do. So I will go with the ICICA method and that's easy again. Do not worry about that. So now I need to make this working. That is working note number 1. In Factories Act 6, beyond 9 hours, whatever you are work for, that is considered as overtime hours, for which you will get double rate or double hours, that is as good as. Okay, there are 3 workers, worker A, worker B, worker C, and we have to calculate equivalent hours. Understand, you need to see this 9 hours and what is OT, which is beyond 9 hours is OT. Up to 9 hours and beyond 9 hours. Up to 9 hours, beyond 9 hours is considered as OT. So let us see this. Okay, like this. So write down this. We can say up to 9 and beyond 9. Beyond 9. Same thing will be written here. Same thing will be written here. Same thing will be written here. Chalo, let me go with this. Mr. A. Understandable. Very understandable. Sir, Mr. A has worked for how many hours on Monday? Monday he has worked for 9.5 hours. So 9 and 1.5. 10.5 na? So 9 hours are normal. Above that is overtime. Then on Tuesday he has worked for 8 hours. So just write down 8 hours. And Wednesday he has worked for 10.5. So you will write 9 and 1.5 because yeah. 10.5 when I say it is 9 and the remaining part is 1.5, then it is Thursday. Thursday it is 9 and 1.5. एक second. 9 and 0.5 because only this many extra hours, which is 0.5. On Saturday, Friday it is 9 and एक second. क्या हो गया? Thursday and then it is Friday. So when I say Friday it is 10.5, that is this 9 and 1.5. Acha, once you do this, Sunday he is not working, he doesn't come on Saturday, he doesn't come on Saturday. Whatever hours are there, 9 and whatever is extra, just write it down as a bonus over here. Now you're gonna do one thing, just take the total 9 plus 8 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9, you're gonna get 44. Acha, here if you add 1.5 into 3 plus 0.5, if you add these things, you're gonna get 5 hours. Sir, for this 5 hours, you will not be paid for 5 hours. you will get double payment. It is overtime, right? So here you will get 44, here you will get 10, here you will get 54 hours ka payment. Once I say 54, you will write it down 54 here, and 30.5 into 54, you're gonna get 1647. Your answer will be 1647, sir. This is going to be your answer, 1647. Acha sir, worker B, is there any complication? No complication at all. Worker B has, every day he has worked for 8 hours. So every day he has worked for 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. So just multiply into 6 days, na? 8 into 6. All 48 hours. Nothing, no overtime is done. So he will get paid for 48 hours only. Yeah, into 48. That is 18 into 48, guys. We will get 864. Now let us come to this part, which is your C wala part. Let us try to do this. What is there? Okay, understand this. Now if I talk about C, Mr. C, sir, let's do this so that you will get the clarity. Sir, 10.5. 10.5 bole to sir 9 and extra is 1.5. Sir, 8. 8 bole to 8. Beyond 9 is nothing. 10.5. So in 9 and beyond 9 is 1.5. When I say 9.5, it means 9 and 0.5. Beyond 9 is extra. Okay, then again it is 9 and 1.5. Then here it is 8. That's it. So that's it. This much you're gonna do, and then now we're gonna take the total. Yeah. 9 plus 8 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 8. You're gonna get 52 over here. Okay. You will get 5 over here. This is into 1. And beyond wale ko you will get double rate. So double hours. So 52 and 10. And you will get 62 as your answer. And into multiplied by 62 over here. That is 43. Into 62, 2666. Okay, no idea, Apurva. You will have to check the timestamp. Maybe it will be updated. Maybe I'm not taking in this marathon. Maybe it will be taken tomorrow. As of now, we are taking this. Hello, is it understandable? There is one more condition actually in the Factors Act, 48 hours wala, but institute always ignores 48 hours wala condition. They always take 9 hours wala condition. So if the question comes, it will be done like this. Hello. I hope that is understandable. Can we just go ahead? Yes, sir. So overtime wala one question is done. So chalo, we can say that we are done with the labor costing. It's been 1 hour and 30 minutes. We will say we started by maybe we approx started by 7:20 or something. So it's almost 1 hour here. I can check, and 40 minutes. So 1 hour and 40 minutes. We have tried to cover 3 chapters. Important questions. We are done with joint product byproduct first. Then we did process costing. And now we did labor costing. There is one question. The link will be given in the comment section once the lecture is over, marathon wala. These lectures you will have to watch. In the comment section, I will give all the links, relevant links, which you will have to watch. Okay. So this link will be given. Halcerovan I am not doing. It is, it can come in the exam. Every time it comes in the exam. But this time it's something different should come, right? So yeah, Halcerovan I'm not doing, which is understandable, which is very easy. If you want regular lectures ka, you can watch fatafat ek bar, or maybe I will upload. There is one clip also. Hello, labor costing ka hai na, there is one clip I will tell you. Go ahead and complete all and short topics. Okay, chalo. Now, okay, now we will do one thing. We will take a break. Acha, you need break for how much time? You can just let me know that you need break for 30 minutes. Happy kya aa jaoge? You can take the rest. Hello, let me know, is it sufficient? Or maybe you don't need break. Let me know that. Hello. 30 minutes, is it sufficient? So that I can start with the things then. Half an hour ka break we will take. We will start by 9:30. It is 9 o'clock. So let's meet by 9:30, I will say. What's it? Chalo, 15 minutes. 45 is not something which is recommended. Yeah, no need, sir. 15 minutes. Okay. So we're gonna take break for 20 minutes. 30 minutes is more than sufficient. Chalo, 9:30. No need of break. Nahin. We will come by. We will meet by 9:30. Let us take half an hour ka break. Just come by 9:30. I can simply say that. Yeah. Next chapter is going to be maybe in non-integrated cost accounting system. So you're gonna do that. Okay. Let's take the break. Okay, now let's start with the things, guys. We're gonna start with cost accounting system. Let's start with this cost accounting system, the chapter from which what is going to come is this non-integrated part, which is highly expected for examination. So let us try to do non-integrated wala part. Let us try to understand this interest, which is considered as a quite difficult part. Let's try to do this part. Okay, here we go. Let me just download the question bank so that we can solve the questions. Cost accounting system, here we go. 9 cost accounting system, yeah, here we go. The question is comparatively I will say that many things are there in this. So try to understand, already entries are written. So let's try to understand this here only. Let's just do one thing. Let's try to understand the things. Okay. Entries are written. So let me just, flatten. Okay. Let's see this. Whatever entries are there, let's try to understand. First of all, let me give you the idea about this cost accounting system. Okay. Now, let's start with this. Let us start with this. Yeah, everything is fair. Okay, now cost accounting system. So what is this cost accounting system? Let us give us some idea. Try to understand this. So when I say cost accounting system, ऐसा होता है कि that there is one thing which is financial records which are maintained separately and costing records which are maintained separately. Okay, as in cost accountant, when I maintain my record, what I do is I make accounts. Sir, how many accounts are made? To try to understand. You just need to understand this pattern and everything you will be able to easily solve. Sir, one account you will make is store ledger control account. I will just name it as a store ledger control account. That is one account that you're gonna make. Okay, which is nothing but material account, which is in the middle. Okay, then after that, that material on that material worker will work. So there is one more account that you're gonna make, that is wage control account. Okay, there is one more account that you're gonna make, which is wage control account. Okay, having said that, now after that wages, I can say that overheads you will charge. So that is factory overhead account you will make, then office and administration account you will make, selling and distribution account you will make. So these are the overheads account, those you will make. Now understand this raw material, now you need to do some production activity that will be conducted in a factory. So there is one more account, that is WIP account will be made, where production activity will be happening. It is like your factory where production is happening. It is like your factory where production is happening, which is something is in process. Acha, once something is processed and you make the finished goods, there is one more account which will be made, which is finished goods account. It is like your warehouse where you will keep your goods. Okay, and then you will get at the end the final cost of all the things. You will add the cost and you will get total cost, which is known as cost of sales. And this cost of sales will be compared with one thing which is known as, I will say, sales. And once you compare cost of sales with the sales, you will get your profit and loss, which is nothing but your costing profit and loss account. Every faculty has a different way to explain. So now I don't know whether you are comfortable with this structure or not. Otherwise, you can follow the method which you generally follow. Okay. And then at the end, one general ledger adjustment account or cost ledger adjustment or cost ledger control, whatever you say, GLA account, that is general ledger adjustment, to complete the double entry. So general ledger adjustment account, okay, or cost ledger adjustment account, CLA account, whatever you say, cost ledger adjustment or general ledger adjustment. Now these are the accounts you will make. So as and when question comes in the examination, these are the accounts that you will have to make once you see the question of non-integrated. Understandable. Now understand. First, let me give you the idea as to how the entries work. Then it will be easier for you to pass the entries. Okay. First, sir, if I tell you that, sir, wages paid. So you will say, sir, entry should be wages account debit to cash bank account. Okay. You will say, sir, wages paid. So entry should be wages account debit to cash bank account. Let us say bank account. Sir, are we preparing wage account? Yes, which is also known as wage control account. Okay. But sir, are we preparing bank account as a cost accountant? I am not concerned with that. That account will be prepared by financial accountant. I am concerned with only those accounts which are connected with product cost. So I'm not in or product, we can say that bank account is not connected with the product. It is with money. We will say that kitna money will come, it will go. So now what you gonna make is, you are not going to make this account, but you have to complete the double entry. So to complete the double entry, you're gonna make one account which is cost ledger adjustment. All adjustments are done with this account, or general ledger adjustment account, which is CLA account. So I will just write down the full form, cost ledger adjustment, cost or general ledger adjustment account. Okay, so can I say that when the wages are paid, entry will be like this. When the wages are paid, if anything is paid to wage control account के debit side में you gonna pass the effect. And if I say that यहाँ पे CLA, तो CLA का credit side effect will be done. अच्छा sir, if you purchase an material, sir, if you purchase material, तो what entry will pass? You will say material is coming in. For that material you are preparing SLC. And to creditor, and if you make the payment to bank, you are not preparing creditor or bank account, so instead you will say to CLA account. It means again you will say that SLC debit side, okay, and which CLA ka credit side. So entry will be like this. Now sir, if you pay overheads, what entry you will pass? Let us say sir, if you pay overheads, so when I say you pay overheads, so overheads account debit to cash bank, and cash bank is not there, so you will write CLA account. Okay sir, it means that is understandable, that when the payment is made, entry will be like this. These respective accounts will be debited and to CLA. That is the entry that will be there. Okay, understandable. These are debited and to CLA ka credit side. Okay sir. Now understand this. Which is very important. When the material comes, you are passing this entry. Understand this. When material comes, you are saying SLC to CLA. Now this material is in godown. Now we will issue this material. Once you say you are going to issue this material, now it all depends. Let us say you are issuing this material, so you will say material is going. If material is going for production activity in the factory, so entry should be this. WIP to SLC. When the direct material is issued. When direct material is issued for production, entry will be material is going to SLC and it is going in the production activity, which is WIP. So you're gonna see like this. Entry will be like this, SLC account debit and WIP account, that is like this. So your SLC account will be credited and WIP account will be debited. Okay. Now if I just talk about this wage control account, or acha, suppose if I tell you it is indirect material, and if it is indirect material, nothing is mentioned, so it means it is for repairs and maintenance. When you say material is for repairs and maintenance, like you manufacture pen, so to manufacture pen you require plastic, and when you purchase plastic, it is this entry, and when you issue this plastic, it is this entry, which is direct material. But sir, if you are purchasing oil, is it going inside that pen? No. So that oil is your indirect material, it is going in the factory for repairs and maintenance purpose. So your entry should be that material is going, but it is not production purpose, it is a part of overhead, which is indirect material. So entry should be factory overhead account debit to SLC account. It means it is like this. It will go, material will go, and it will come to the debit side of factory overhead. Try to understand this. If it is indirect material, that is material issued to this factory. If this material is issued for office purpose, or if this material is issued for selling and distribution, like you have bought some papers for accounting purpose so that you can take the print and all. So when material was purchased, it was SLC to CLA. Material came to CLA, bank account not preparing to CLA account. Now, when you say that it is for office purpose, so again, you will say that to SLC, material is going, but for office purpose to office and administration. Again, material is going to SLC, but it is going for selling and distribution. That is secondary packing, we will say, that is selling and distribution. Okay. I hope this much interest is clear, so that when we look at the things, we will be able to understand that is how the transferring will be done. Now, if I talk about wages, when you pay, if wages are paid, what entry you will pass? Wage control account debit to cash bank. You do not prepare, so you will say to CLA. So wage control account will be debited to CLA account when wages are paid. Now, these wages can be direct wages or this can be indirect. So now you're gonna allocate this. So wages, if it is direct or if it is indirect, what entry will come? So wages, if these are direct, where it will go, and if these are indirect, where it will go. Understand? Okay, when you say wages are direct, so wages are direct, one entry you will pass, which is that wages you will have to charge it to the production, that is WIP account debit to wage control. Because when you make this WIP account on this, it is like a process account. You have transferred your material, WIP ka debit mein you have transferred your material. Now I need what is the wages, that is direct wages, those are producing. So I can say that WIP ka debit side pe, you will write to wage control, that is debit mein yahan pe to come to wage control. Done. Again you will have to absorb factory overheads also. First of all, By adding this, you have got your a prime cost. It is like this, and now you have to add factory overhead. So even factory overheads will be absorbed. So now first of all, if it is indirect wages, so you will say, sir, to wage control, but it is a part of factory overhead, so it will be transferred to factory overhead. So please understand, entry will be like this if it is with reference to wages. Okay, understandable. When you solve the questions, you will understand how that is how the things work. Okay, now after wages, if I just tell you overheads, let us talk about factory overhead. When it is paid, so what is going to be the entry? Entry will be like this, sir, to factory, entry will be like this, factory overhead account, debit to CLA account. And sir, where do you absorb this factory overhead? So when you absorb this factory overhead, so again it will be absorbed to the production. So you will say that to factory overhead on the debit side of this, we are going in very much nutshell that you can understand the things. That is how the postings are done. So WIP ka debit side, I need factory overhead, so it will be absorbed. So again that effect will come like this. So understand this. It is like this. First this wage control ka, this entry. This is wage control ka entry, ye wala, this one. That WIP debit side and wage control credit side. Now once you absorb factory overhead, it will be like this. It will be factory overhead account will be debited, so WIP account will be debited, factory will be credited. So WIP ka debit side and FOH ka credit side, that account ka credit side you will say. Understandable. Now sir, office overheads if you talk about, again paid and absorbed, but this can be absorbed to production, because administrations are divided into two parts, and one can be absorbed to sales. So please understand, one can be absorbed to production and one can be absorbed to sales. Try to understand these things, what it is. When you pay factory office overheads, you will say office and administration to CLA. That office administration account debit expense to cash bank you do not prepare, so to CLA account. Ha sir, this is understandable. Now when you absorb this to the production activity, so you will simply say that, now this time please understand, it is very important. First of all, when you absorb this, sir, here you have written factory overhead also, that has been absorbed. Dekho here, if I tell you, even this has been absorbed, WIP to FOH, that has been absorbed. Acha, now I'm just going thoda little in detail so that I can make you understand. This is gonna be your factory cost, or I can say this is going to be your gross factory cost. Acha, on the debit side what comes is opening WIP, on the credit side what comes is closing WIP. So after adjusting this, that is gross factory cost, add opening stock of WIP less closing stock of WIP, you will get one answer, and that answer is known as factory cost. That this is my net factory cost after adjusting my opening and closing WIP. This is your WIP account, which is production activity. Now there is one more account which is prepared below this, which is finished goods account. Okay, finished goods account. What you gonna do? Your factory cost will be transferred over here, that is factory cost. Add, and if you understand, after factory cost, beside the factory there is one person Q who is doing RAP, which is scrap. If you know the cost sheet, if you have learned from me, you must be aware of that, that after factory cost what comes is Q RAP, quality control, research, development and administration expense. So sir, administration expenses, if it is related to production, it should be added in this finished goods. If it is related to production, it should be added Q RAP mein. So okay, office and admin, if it should be added, it will be charged to finished goods. So when you say absorb to production, it means you will say office and administration account will be credited when you absorb this. And where will you absorb this? In the finished goods account. Whatever is produced, to that you will absorb that production. Now so whatever is produced, to that you will add your office and administration overhead. Okay, acha, after doing this, what will you get? Sir, you got your factory cost from upar se, from top you got that your factory cost, you add your office and administration, and then you get your COP, cost of production. Now you add your opening stock of finished goods, you subtract your closing stock of finished goods, and after doing this, one answer you will get which is known as COGS. One answer you will get COGS. Okay, now once you say that COGS will be transferred to one more account, which is cost of sales. Now your COGS will be transferred over here, so you will get COGS, and to this COGS, whatever goods you have sold, you add two more things: general office and administration, which is connected to sales, and again selling and distribution. Obviously selling and distribution is connected to sales. So now understand, There is one more overhead which can be paid. Okay. Then I will give you the short recap as to whatever we have done. So now you can say selling and distribution account debit to CLA account, that selling and distribution which is paid to cash bank you don't prepare, so to CLA or GLA, whatever it's a general ledger adjustment or cost ledger adjustments. Now you need to absorbed, and obviously selling overheads are absorbed to sales only, so there is no question with that. So now when you absorb this, so entry you need to understand, when you absorb this, so it will be absorbed to cost of sales. I need to add it in the cost of sales, so it should be debited. Cost of sales where you're gonna absorb, and when you again this cost of sales where you're gonna absorb this your office and administration if it is connected to sales, so both the things will be added. So now let us just recap the entries as to whatever we have done, and then we can proceed ahead. So these are the entries which are there. There is one more entry, sales ka entry, and then we will solve the question, and yeah, you will understand this. That is how the things are done karke. There is okay. So now there is one more entry which is sales ka entry. Sales ka entry is very easy. If I tell you sales ka entry, it is like debtor, first of all debtor to sales, that is you do not do that, to CLA to sales, and then sales will be transferred to the P&L account, so you will say sales account debited to P&L account which is costing P&L. So two entries you will pass. First CLA to sales which is debtor to sales, and then your sales is like income, it should be transferred to P&L account, so to P&L account. Okay, now let me just recap, let me just give you the recap, and then we're gonna pass the interest for that matter. Understand? So now sir, first of all, if I purchase raw material, what entry will pass? Sir, material is coming in, so you will say sir SLC account debit to CLA account. Done sir. Sir, whatever material came, now it will go somewhere. Yes sir. If it is issued to the production to you will say SLC. For production it means you will say WIP. Yes sir. If it is issued indirect material, so we will say it is going to the factory overhead. So SLC it is going and to factory overhead. If it is issued for office purpose, to office and administration to SLC. If it is issued for selling and distribution, to selling and distribution to SLC. Material is going for selling and distribution. Okay, understandable. Sir, wages paid. When you make the payment of the wages, whether it is direct or whether it is indirect, when you make the payment, it should be wage control account debit to CLA account. That wages account debit to cash bank you don't prepare to CLA. Now it can be direct wages or it can be indirect wages. If it is direct wages, it should be charged to production. When I say production, it means WIP to wage control, charge to production. The production will also WIP where production is happening. If it is indirect wages, it should be charged to factory overhead. So interest should be factory overhead account debit to wage control. Then if it is indirect though, wage control should be charged to factory overhead because it is indirect. Okay, now understand. Now if I talk about overhead, it can be factory overhead, it can be office and administration overhead, it can be selling and distribution overhead. Acha, if you pay factory overhead, what entry you will pass? Sir, overhead account debit simple hai, to CLA account, every overhead ke liye you will pass this entry. And if you pay sir selling office and administration, same entry, office overhead account debit to CLA account, selling and distribution overhead account debit, expense account debit to CLA account. But now sir, where do you charge this? Factory overhead is charged to production. So when you say charge to production, it means overhead account when you credit, where will you charge this? To WIP. Acha, when you say this, acha, where will you charge this? Selling and distribution. So selling and distribution credited and it is charged to cost of sales. But now office overhead has two parts. It can be charged to production, it can be charged to sale. Question will specify for that matter. So if in this case, if I say charge to production, when I say charge to production, so I will say to office and administration. But now you should not write WIP. Hello. When you say this charge to production, from top you got your factory cost, and to factory cost you are adding that in your finished goods account. So please just understand this, it should be charged to finished goods. When if it is connected to production, so finished goods to this. And if it is connected to sales, it is gonna be cost of sales to office and administration. So let us try to pass the interest and let us try to solve the questions, and you will understand the way in which it should be solved correctly. Now understand, that is how you're gonna solve. I will solve one question. I will just write the amount. So please write with me so that you will get a very good control. Sir, how many lines you're gonna make this accounts for in examinations? So I recommend in examination, if you want to make this accounts, yeah. So it should be made for how many lines if you want to know. This is 5 lines on one page. This is for 5 lines on the one page, and the remaining lines will be devoted to this. Acha, one account you can shift over here, that is selling and distribution, and again it is made for 5 lines in examination. Now again, this can be made for 5 lines, this can be made for 5 lines, and then it can be made for 8 lines and 8 lines in examination. Again, this can be made for 8 lines, 5 lines and 5 lines. So these are the number of lines which I have written. remaining lines, this is one page per you will make, this is second page per you will make, this is third page per you will make. So yeah, the number of lines also we have written. Let us write it, and now let us try to solve this question. Okay, first I will make one account, फटाफट एक छोटू सा, you also make this SLC account. Okay, then there is one 5 line ka account which is wage control account. I will just post the values so that you can get some. Again 5 lines ka account, factory overhead, let us say chalo abhi ke liye off mein. Then there is office and administration, and then there is a selling and distribution, just to make you understand as to how the closing is done, Then there is one account which is on the another page, you can make in the rough WIP account, 5 lines. WIP account ke baad you gonna make WIP account ke baad finished goods account, and after finished goods account you gonna make a cost of sales account. Please understand. Let us solve this and you will understand how that is how the things work karke. First you will make SLC, below that you will make wage control, below that you will make factory, office, and then selling and distribution, and then WIP, finished goods, and then cost of sales. Now here you gonna make again 3 accounts. First you gonna make sales account, then you gonna make ekdam below niche one costing P&L account, and remaining will be devoted towards your CLA or general ledger adjustment, GLA or CLA, whatever you say. Now these are the rough accounts which are made just to give the perspective. Now let us start one question so that you will understand how that is how the posting is done. So chalo, let us start with this. Sir, step number one to solve this question, step number one is read the question and first transfer the opening balances. So let us transfer the opening balances. Sir, when I say material control account, it is as good as SLC account. So debit side mein you gonna write 1,24,000. Just write it down. Opening balance, it will be having opening balance. Now there is a WIP account. WIP account you gonna write on the debit side 62,500. Okay, just write with me, you will get the idea. Then finished goods account is 1,24,000. Finished goods account ka debit side you will write 1,24,000. Understandable, sir. Then production overhead, that is factory overhead, you gonna write 8,400. So 8,400 factory overhead debit side, that is what we will write down. Then admin overhead, if you check, it is on the credit side, so be very careful. On the credit side you will write 12,000 as to balance brought down, by balance brought down, that is okay, brought down. Selling and distribution 6250 on the debit side, so 6250 on the debit side, yeah, we have written. And CLA, cost ledger control or adjustment, whatever, credit side pe we will write 313,150. Done, sir. So first step is transfer the opening balances. Second step, whatever transactions are given, you just need to think of the entry. So chalo, these entries you will have to think of, and these are quite easy, which is understandable. Sir, when you purchase material, what entry you will pass? Sir, material is coming in. Now if you understand, SLC account will be debited. To cash bank you are not paying, so to CLA account. Okay. Material is issued to the jobs, which is for production activity. So again, material is issued to SLC. It is issued for production. So that is WIP account is debited. Then material is issued to work maintenance, repairs and maintenance. So it is a part of factory overhead. So to SLC, it is going for factory overhead. So you will write down factory overhead will be debited. Sir, material is issued for administration. Some accounting papers will be there. Material is going and it is for office purpose. So office and admin will be debited. Then material is issued to sales department. So when you say sales department, so again material is going, but it is issued to sales department. So debit will be selling and distribution. So let us try to pass the entries so that you will understand. First of all, material SLC is debited. So just go to the SLC ka debit side, and what account you will write? To CLA karke. That ledger posting you know. Just to give you that perspective as to how the closings are done. Yeah, you're gonna do this. Acha, then we will have just entries only. Only one equation you are solving in rough. Okay. And then your this account, please write with me in rough if possible for you. Then CLA account ka credit side you will write down this 480,100. So both the effects are given. This also, this also. Now material issued to job. So pehle WIP account will be debited. So WIP account should be debited. Let us give this effect. Right, you will write down to SLC करके, ठीक है. SLC का credit side you will go. SLC का credit side you will go. SLC का credit side 477,400. Done, sir. Now, then sir, material issued to maintenance. When you say material issued to maintenance, so again FOH का debit side you will say FOH का debit side. So you will never make mistake if you go one by one. And then SLC का credit side, it is issued. So 41,200 has been issued and that has been received there. Okay, administration overhead again. I will say office and administration you have received 3,400 and that has been issued from SLC. which is 3,400. So you're gonna write down 3,400 has been issued. Okay. After that, material sent to the sales department. When you say sales department, it means S&D ka debit will be 7,200. This much material we have received, and SLC account will be credited with that 7,200. 7,200 it will be credited. It has issued selling and distribution karke, by selling and distribution. Okay, so we have passed all the interest, double entry is done. Now let us go to this. When I talk about wages, if I talk about wages, sir, first payment ka entry and then transfer ka entry. First payment. So sir, when you make the payment, wage control account will be debited to CLA, paid, sir, wages paid, wages to cash bank is not there, to CLA, and this is direct wages, it should be transferred to WIP account. Therefore WIP account debit to wage control, it will be transferred there. What is the value? 1,49,300. Pehle wage control ka debit 1,49,300, that is paid to CLA. So CLA ka credit side, just go to the CLA account, write it down on the credit side, 1,49,300. Okay, then WIP should be debited. WIP 1,49,300, and then wage control should be credited. So it has been transferred also, 1,49,300 paid, and it is transferred to WIP. Yes sir, understandable. Now after that, when you pay indirect wages, it is at the end wages only. So first make the payment ka entry, wage control account debit to, we will say that, CLA account. So wage control account should be debited, wage control ka debit, you will come 65,000, sir, paid, and then CLA account should be credited. So I will say 65,000. Okay, now understandable. Now whatever is your payment, it is indirect, so it should be transferred to factory overhead. So factory overhead account should be debited, which is 65,000, and then wage control should be credited, which is 65,000. Understandable. Now if I talk about transportation for indirect metal, it has some different treatment. Please understand, when you say transportation of indirect metal, it is like as an indirect cost, factory overhead, indirect metal, transportation cost, it is said. Okay, so when I say transportation for indirect metal, it is a factory overhead ka part and to cash bank, we are not doing that. So factory overhead to CLA account. Now factory overhead account ka debit side, you will write down 8,400, and CLA ka credit side, you will write down 8,400. Done sir, that is the payment kind entry, we will say that. Production overhead is incurred, you are paying overhead, so overhead account debit to cash bank, but cash bank is not there to CLA, so overhead to CLA, so overhead account debit, which is factory overhead, debit side you will write down 242,250, 242,250. Okay, and then CLA ka credit side 2,42,250, 2,42,250. That is what you're gonna write. Then overheads were absorbed to the production. So now absorption to the production overheads ka is charged to the WIP. You will say that overheads account debited to charge to production, which is WIP, and the value is, where it went. Okay, so it is this 3 lakh, 1 second, charge to this, 1 second, which entry I was passing, charge to this. Okay, so this, and yeah, CLA should be credited, that is done. A charge, so WIP account should be debited. Did we haven't done that. So 3,59,100, and then FOH should be credited, 3,59,100. Now try to understand. Sir, till now we have done this. Admin overheads incurred. Again, when you say admin overheads incurred, to sir, paid. So overhead account should be debited to bank. You don't do that, so you don't have that account. So to CLA account, dummy account. Okay, so office and administration account debit side 74,000, and then CLA account ka credit side, if you look at, you just go there, write down 74,000. CLA account ka credit side, CLA cost ledger adjustment, done. Sir, administration overheads allocated to productions. Now this is connected to production, which shall be charged to the finished goods account. From top you will get your factory cost, and to factory cost you add that QRAF file adjustment. We have done that in cost sheet. Okay, so if it is charged, you have to charge to the finished goods account. Finished goods ka debit side 52,900, and office and administration ka credit side 52,900. Then admin overheads are allocated to production. Now admin overheads are allocated to sales now. So it is connected with cost of sales. When you get that COGS here in cost of sales, to that you add office and selling and distribution both. So now it is charged there. So entry is actually cost of sales to office and administration. So now cost of sales ka debit side, you will write 14,800, and then office and admin ka credit side. So office and admin ka credit side, you will write 14,800. Office and admin ka credit side. Now Then selling and distribution overhead incurred. So when you make the payment of selling and distribution, you will say S&D to cash bank, but it is not there to CLA. That is selling and distribution to CLA. Selling and distribution account ka debit side, which is 64,200, and CLA ka credit side, which is 64,200. Yeah, that should be understandable. Now, what you gonna do after doing that? Selling and distribution absorbed. It means you will charge it to the cost of sales. You will transfer it. So now S&D ka credit side, cost of sales ka debit side, you will add 82,000. So two costs we have written. This one is for office. This one was of selling and distribution. Now selling and distribution ka credit side 82,000. It has been transferred there. Okay, now finished goods produced. When you say goods are produced, it means it will be transferred from WIP to finished goods. WIP is a place where you produce the goods, and finished goods is a place where it is like a warehouse where you keep that. So when you say that production is there, the entry is like this. Goods are moving from WIP to finished goods. So you just need to pass the transfer entry. Let's do that. So when you say finished goods are produced, so finished goods are coming in, and two, it is WIP. It is converted from WIP. The WIP is going out. So WIP to finished goods. So finished goods ka debit side. We have produced this many units, 9,58,400, and WIP from it is coming. So it is going from that factory, yeah, to the warehouse. Okay, done. Finished goods sold. When you say sold, it means something is going from warehouse. From warehouse, which is your finished goods, you are transferring this for sale. It is finished goods sold. It is as good as cost of sales. Finished goods sold is as good as cost of goods sold. Whatever cost of goods you have sold is this, so it will be transferred like this. Cost of sales to finished goods account. From finished goods it is going to the cost of sales account. 977,300. 9,77,300. It will be added here. 9,77,300. It will be added to your cost of sales account. This is your COGS which is appearing. To that you will add your office, and to that you will add your selling and distribution. We'll see that. Okay. Now sales. Sir, when you say sales are debtor to sales, debtor account is not there. To CLA to sales. To CLA to sales, to CLA ka debit side. First CLA ka debit side. 1,40,000, whatever the value is. 14,43,000. And then sales ka credit side. 14,43,000. And when you say this sales to, then that sales will be transferred to PNL. So sales ke debit mein will write 14,43,000. Because it is income, it will be transferred to PNL account. So yeah, 14,43,000. Sir, step number 1, opening balances should be transferred. We are done with it. Step number 2, just post all the entries and then transfer it to the accounts. We are done with that also. Now you are required to prepare the account. So whatever entries we had passed, based on that we just did this transfer entries. Now what is the next step? Closure. When you close the accounts, first thing is you need to close this. First thing I can say is you need to close this, and then after this you need to close this, and last may you will close this. So chalo, first let us close the SLC, and it will be having the balance. Okay, so the next step is closing. So when you close this, I will just give you the balance directly. Let's not waste time in that calculation. It is going to be 74,900. It is going to be your closing. That is by balance carried down. This will tally. Your wage control will tally, because whatever is paid, it has been absorbed. If I talk about factory overhead, so there will be a balancing figure. Achha, if I talk about balancing figure, it is going to be on this side, which is 6150. Let's not waste time in calculation. 6150. Sir, what will you do with this? You have two options. Either you can transfer it to the PNL account, write it off in this year itself, or you can transfer it to the next year. Sir, how you will come to know what should be done? Check the question. Do we have opening balance? Yes, we do have opening balance. So this indicates that company has a policy to carry forward and should not be transferred to the PNL account. We have a policy to carry forward. So 8,400 was there in the opening. Yes, it was there in the opening. So it should be carried forward. So it should be carried down and should not transfer to the PNL account. Done, sir. So every balance will be now carried down. We will say that. So factory overhead will be 2,300 over here. Again, that is a carried down, I will say. And when I talk about selling and distribution, when you close that, let's not waste our time in that. You will get 4350 as your answer. Yeah, when you close it. Okay. Now, when you close WIP account, it should be balance carried down. It is a stock, right? So yeah, whatever units you have transferred, you know that. So balance should be this. Let's see. Oh yeah, we should not calculate, we should directly write to save the time. 89,900. Yeah. Then if I close finished goods account, these were some opening stock was there. Goods came, goods went here. You can see this. So what will remain is closing. If you close this account, you will get the closing value, and closing value is 1,58,000. Done, sir. We got this also. Acha then, sir, whatever is the balance in your this account, which is your cost of sales account, if I add it, sir, will you say carried down? No, sir. This is your total cost. This is actually your COGS, which is coming from here, if you understand. Then one is your administration expenses, office and administration, and one is your selling and distribution. So after adding this COGS, office and selling and distribution, you are getting your total cost, which is cost of sales. And when I add this everything, you will get 1074100, and whatever is this value cost of sales, it should be transferred to P&L account. So we'll say by costing P&L, and from there it will come here 1074100, and this is your we can say that cost of sales, which is appearing on the debit side, and sales is appearing on the credit side. That is how it is gonna be done. So first line, close this. First thing, close this, and again here is a note. When you close this, SLC will have a balancing figure. It is carried down, wage control will tally, and all overheads, once you close, you will be having balancing figure. If there is a brought down, you will say carried down, otherwise that difference will be transferred to the P&L account. Hello, please understand that. Then you will close WIP, there will be a carried down. There you close finished goods, there will be a carried down. Then if you close cost of sale, you should not say carried down, that balance will be transferred to the P&L account, so that you will get the cost on the debit side. Okay, now once you close your costing P&L, you will get the profit. So whatever is your profit, let us say it is this. This is profit. Sir, this profit, where will you transfer? Sir, do you prepare reserve account? No, you don't have that reserve account, right? So to complete the double entry, it will be transferred to the CLA account. Do not forget this. Many students forget this. So you have to transfer this here on the opposite side, which is 368 and 900. And lastly, you're gonna close your CLA account, and once you close this, you will be having balancing figure 322300. So that is gonna be the thing. That is how you're gonna close, and sales account will tally as such. There is no problem with that. I hope you understood the structure. First SLC accounts you will close, then WIP account, and then here first you will close P&L account, then you will close your CLA account, and then you will close your sales. Sales will tally. Now, after doing everything, whatever I have said, at the end you will have to make trial balance. Sir, how you gonna make the trial balance? Understand. Once you say trial balance, what all things are going to come? There will be a debit and there will be a credit. Please understand, this is excess of debit which is appearing on the credit side. It is like this. Here it is 10, here it is 8. So 2 is nothing but debit of extra 2 debit which is appearing on the credit side. It means this is actually a debit balance. Or if you don't understand anything, it is appearing on the credit side, write it on the debit side then while transferring. So this 74,900 will be written over here as a debit balance SLC ka. Waise one by one you will transfer everything. You will transfer this also. Factory overhead is appearing over here. It will be transferred over here. It is from the study material. You can check the trial balance for that matter, and then everything will be transferred, and this trial balance will tally. We will say that if it tallies, so your answer is right. Do not forget to transfer CLC or SLC ka balance also. CLA ka balance. This will come where? This will come. It is on the debit side, so that balance will be appearing on the credit side. CLA account, and then you need to close that account. I hope that is something that is how you understood the structure as to how you're gonna solve this. Now the only important thing which is written there is entry. Once you understand the entries, the rest is very easy, right? You need to understand the entries so that you can do something in this with this chapter. So while revising, some entries are there. Once you understand the entries, that's quite easy. Acha, there is a possibility, just to give you the perspective, if it is integrated. When I say integrated, what does that mean? If it is written in the question, acha, just एक idea, just to give you the idea, so that if question comes, you should be able to handle that. Just a second. If the question comes, you should be able to handle that. So we're gonna do something. Let's see this. Okay. So now understand this. If I just tell you about a few things, like Let's say if question comes, what is the difference between non-integrated and integrated? Non-integrated matlab accounts are separated, financial accounts are separate, costing accounts are separate, and you make the accounts. That is your SLC account, wage control account, factory overhead, office overhead, selling overhead, WIP account, then transferred into finished goods, then transferred to the cost of sales. It is transferred to P&L, then you write sales. Sales is also transferred to the P&L, and then you make CLA account, which is double entry to complete the double entry, general ledger, cost ledger adjustment account. But now when the accounts are integrated, it means there is only one set of account. Even financial accounts and costing, both are in it. There is one book for all subjects. Like for college, you have only one book for all subjects. Combined, integrated bole to. And separate matlab in enter, for every subject there are different books, and for every subject again there are 2-3 books also, like separated. So now when you say accounts are integrated, is there any need to make this CLA account? No. So when accounts are integrated, all accounts will be made. All accounts will be made, and instead of making this dummy account, you will actually make those small accounts, because accounts are integrated. You are having the access to financial accounts also. So you will make bank account, data account, creditor account, everything you have access to. So you're gonna transfer it to that account. Acha, it means I can say that if accounts are integrated, which account will not come? CL account will not come. Instead of that, specific accounts will come. Now, sir, when you pass the entries, raw material purchase. Sir, when you purchase the raw material, generally you used to say, sir, SLC account debit to CLA. But because accounts are integrated, you are having the access. So it should be to bank account now, because you are having the access, or creditor account if it is on credit. Then wages paid or material issued to production, that is okay. Now, if I say that wages paid, generally you used to pass wages to CLA. One second, what is the entry for wages? Is it there? If I say wages paid, so what should be the entry? Wages to bank. Because you have access to bank account, because accounts are integrated. So that is the difference. Please look at this question. It can again come for 5 marks. So it is highly recommended. You can take the screenshot chahiye to. All entries are there. It is like your 12th entries which were there. So that's a fairly easy job. You can just see the entries. Again, it is from the study material. So just have a quick look, or you can just have this ki bhai, receipt from payment to creditor. So when you make the payment to creditor to bank, what is that difficult? Nothing is difficult. Receipt from debtor, so paisa, money is coming, bank to debtors. Okay, closing stock, there is one entry which is there. One by one you will have to go for that matter. I hope that is something which is understandable. One by one, if you check the entries, that would be manageable. Okay, now so that is what it was. There are other questions also, like big questions. One by just I will just recommend one thing, that what you will have to do is, all the transactions ka just refer the entries. Once you know the entries, now you know the closing. First SLC wala line you will close, then WIP wala line you will close, then cost of sales ka balance will be transferred to P&L account, then P&L account ka balance will be transferred to CLA account, cost ledger, and then it will be closed. Then you will make the trial balance, sales account, it will tally. I hope that was something which was understandable. Reconciliation statement, it can come in the examination, but I feel as if it will not come. And there is a reason for that, sir. Why you feel it will not come? Cost accounting system reconciliation, because it came in the earlier attempt. So very rare possibility they can repeat. I don't say, there is a history where they repeat the question of reconciliation also, but I'm not solving as such reconciliation. I feel now they will test you either for non-integrated, or I specifically feel as if they will test for this only non-integrated, or maybe integrated ka this missing figure wala question. There is high possibility. Please, it is from the study material. Do this question, this one question. A fire destroyed some record. Just do this one question, question number 4. That is recommended if possible for you. Just have a look on that and just go through that. Okay. This question number 4, I can say that. That is a fire destroyed. That can come for 5 marks. But I highly recommend non-integrated can come for 10 marks. So please do that. Hello, I hope you guys are there. Actually, this doesn't work the way it should. I will have to keep my mobile here so that I can see you. A second. Hello, I hope you guys are there. Hello. Yes, sir. Will this video be there in YouTube? ये video public रहेगा ना? हाँ. Now understand. So this is something that we have done, which is this part. Now understand. After doing this, so we are done with this. Kidhar gaya? Okay. Integrated, non-integrated. So yeah. So this is something which is done. Material wala part. Cost accounting system is done. Process costing is done. Joint product is done. Okay. Now, standard costing, if I just talk about, every faculty has a different way to explain this standard costing wala part. So yeah, fixed overhead wala part which is there, and then there is here overheads के अंदर primary distribution and material के अंदर. Now I just need a guidance from your side. What you want me to do? Like let us continue for 1 hour. Hello. Just type in the chat box that let us continue for 1 hour, or you want me to conduct it tomorrow. Just let me know. Let's conduct the lecture, right? Yeah, thank you. Chalo. Now, let's continue for 1 hour and then we're gonna decide what can be done. Understand? Chalo. Let me explain. Chalo. Let me take this standard costing wala part. Let me take standard costing wala part. Every faculty has a different way to explain this standard costing wala part. So let's see this. Whether if you are not comfortable with this way, so that's okay. You can just have whatever method you have followed with your faculty. You can go with this. I have some different method, but yeah, that is quite understandable. Understand this. Let's finish. Chalo. Standard costing, all sure shot. Yeah, we'll see this. Chalo. If that's possible, we're gonna do this so that all sure shot can be done. Okay, chalo. Let us go with the standard costing stuff, or maybe chalo. Just a overhead thing. Chalo. Many people are saying overhead, so let me just give you the glance. I will not be solving overheads ka question. I will just give you the guidance as to how the questions, how the expenses will be distributed. So let's go with the overheads. Everybody, let's go with the overheads wala part. Overheads. Chalo. Let me just switch. We'll go with the overheads wala part. Yeah. Yeah, chalo. So now let us go with the overheads. So what can come in the examination? But before that, overheads ke liye, I will have to just download this overheads ka summary. So let me just download that summary or directly the questions notebook only. ICI material notebook overhead should be there. Yeah, so the overheads wala part is there. So let's refer this and complete this. Chalo, overheads. Try to understand. Let's revise as to this part you will have to do karke. Let's see this. Understand. Overheads. If we just talk about overheads, understand this. Overheads. Just a short introduction so that you can understand as to what is overheads karke. Now, sir, overheads mein what you gonna do is company will be having departments. One will be production department, one will be service department. Let us say there are two production department, two service departments. That is one is manufacturing P1 and P2. There is S1 and there is S2. That is one is manufacturing, which is P1, P2 is assembly department. Okay, sir, S1, S2, can you differentiate? Yes, let us say this is canteen, which provide food service to these people who are working, right? So it is providing service. That is why it is known as service department. Okay, sir. And this is S2. Sir, S2 bole to, sir, it is, let us say, that hospital. It is providing that medical service, we can say that medicines and everything to these people, those who are working. Okay, if so they feel hungry, they will come to this canteen. If they are not feeling well, they will come to this hospital. So these are service departments. Now whatever cost company is incurring, those costs which are being incurred, those will be divided into few parts. Like those costs will be divided into, first of all, first part is allocation. Acha, what is allocation? Understand. Like if I tell you this is manufacturing department, this is manufacturing department, and this is assembly department. Understand this. This is manufacturing department and this is the assembly department. Understand. So there is a manufacturing department and then there is a assembly department. Now this time you need to understand, if I tell you manufacturing manager salary, so it will come here. If I tell you assembly manager salary, so it will come over here. If I tell you that chef salary, chef who is making that food, or waiter salary, it will come over here in S2, S1. If I say doctor's salary, it will come over here. It means if I name my expense, you will tell me where it goes. It is a location. If I tell you that this is the expense, you will easily able to tell me that here it goes karke. That is something your एक second. Yeah. Actually, I'm little. अरे यार, एक second यार. This is not how it should be. Yeah. So now, understand this. In this case, if you see this, okay. Now there is something known as apportionment. Now, sir, what is this apportionment all about? So try to understand. There are some expenses. There are some expenses which are incurred in totality. We have to divide them in some suitable ratio. So we have to divide them in some suitable ratio, like rent. If I talk about, so sir, if I talk about rent, you need to understand rent is 1 lakh rupees, and then entire property is taken on rent. This entire property is taken on rent. Like you take 3 BHK on rent, you do not pay rent room wise. You just say 3 BHK ka this much is cost. So there are 4 rooms which are there, or one entire property was taken on rent, and there are 4 departments P1, P2, S1, S2. Now when you pay the total rent, rent agreement is in totality, but you have to divide the rent. So when you divide the rent, that rent should be divided based on which area occupied. So rent will be divided based on area occupied, and when you are using some ratio, that is known as apportionment, when you are apportioning that cost in some suitable ratio. I hope that makes sense, that is understandable. Okay, now after this, if I tell you, you're gonna take the total and you will get total overheads. So you're gonna get total overheads. एक second. Okay, so after this, you're gonna get your total overheads. Okay, let us understand this now. Once you get your total overheads, what will be done karke? What will be done karke? So let's see this. For that matter, what we gonna do? Arey yaar. Okay, so now in this case, if I just tell you that okay, so now the cost will come, and now after that you will gonna do the reapportionment. Let us solve the question, you will understand, and that is how we gonna do karke. So now there is a company, understand this, now there is a company, and that is how the questions will be done. So first let us go for the total wala part. Let me come to this question, which is question number 5. Question number 5, again it is from the study material. I just don't know the exact number as such, but this question is from the study material. So let's have a look as to what is there in the question. Question number 5 for that matter. So let's come to this question, question number 5. Okay, I have the solutions which I will refer to this. Question number 5 ka. You just listen to me carefully. Ha sir, that is how the expenses will be transferred, I will say. Okay, this. Okay, chalo. Now understand. I'm not writing, you just listen to this carefully. Why I cannot erase this, I don't know. Maybe because the notations are done, fixed. Okay, take it. Okay, now understand. Chalo. Now if I see this question number 5, here we go. Now, in this question, question number 5, if you see that ABC Limited has the following account balance and the distribution of direct charges. Okay, so if I see this company here, first of all, understand this allocated overheads. It means already given in the question that there are 4 departments, 2 production department and 2 service departments. Okay. Okay, now after this, if I say this, these are my cost, what you will do is you will just directly copy this entire thing. These all costs will be copied directly as it is. No need to worry. It is like 4,000, 3,000, 2,000, whatever it is. You will copy this. Dekho. You will just make the format like this. Maybe I need to stretch the screen so that whatever has been cropped, that should be visible. Ek second. That should be. Now let's start. Okay, now if you see this, understand this. Now if you see this, यहाँ पे ये ज़्यादा ये हो गया क्यों? ठीक है, whatever it is, now just try to understand this. That would be better way. Now understand. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna first make the format. You're gonna make the format like this. You can see this. The format will be made. That is statement showing overheads. There are 4 columns: machine shop, packing, general plant, and store karke. There are 4 columns. Okay. Now if I go one by one, the overhead. So first is indirect wala. You just copy that. You just copy that. That indirect labor, whatever is the value which is given, and the bifurcation is also given. Just copy that. Done, sir. Then there is second part, maintenance wala. Whatever the values are given, 1800 and 700, you just gonna copy that, which is 1800 and 700 karke, one by one. Okay, sir, done that. Now same way you will do till here, which is cost of payroll till 10,000. You just gonna copy this and you will be having these values. Dekho ye, these values, these are just copied and written as it is. Done. Okay, now sir, there is apportionment, and which is something which is very important. Apportion. Following expenses are apportioned. Now there are 4 departments like P1, P2, S1, S2, and these costs which are given, this should be apportioned on some suitable ratio. So what should be the suitable ratio? That we need to understand. Let us understand this. If I talk about floor space, understand total area is 4,800. Out of 4,800 ka area, machine shop has occupied 2000 square feet, packing shop has occupied 800 square feet, general plant has occupied 400 square feet, and then here stores and maintenance 1600 square feet. What you will do, it is very easy. Just take the calculator. First let us talk about rent now. This is 12,000. So just press 12,000 on your calculator, then press divide ka sign. Whatever I say, just do that. Just press 12,000, then press divided ka sign, divided by, and then press 4,800. You will get cost per square feet. That is 12,000 divided by 4,800, multiply. 2.5 is rent per square feet. Okay, whatever is your rent, now multiply. 2 times you will say multiply. 1 is sufficient, but still always 2 times. Okay, then you will say 2,000 equal to, you will get the value for 2,000 square feet, which should be 5,000. You should get it on the calculator, which is written over here. Dekho, 1 second. You should get 5,000. Yeah. For rent, you should get this, which is 5,000. I hope you understand, which is 5,000. Same way. Now, if you need another value, just press 800 and equal to. 800 and equal to. So, for 800 square feet, what is your rate? 800 equal to. That is automatically 800 into 2.5 actually. You just press 800 and equal to. You're gonna get this value. 2,000. That will be easily done. Okay. So, sir, that is something I have understood, that your rent should go based on area. Acha, sir, your power should go on what? Horsepower. That is horsepower of the machinery. If the horsepower is higher, it will consume more power, I will say that. So total horsepower are 5,000. So you will say 8,000 divided by 5,000 horsepowers, multiply. The first has how many horsepower? 3,500 equal to. Then you will press 500 equal to. That is how you will do. And you will get those values which are required, correct? And you will get those values which are required, which you will get easily here. See, horsepowers. Okay. Chalo. Then if I talk about another expense, which is fuel, which is something which is very important actually. You just need to understand in which ratio you're gonna transfer. I hope that was understandable. Now, on what ratios you're gonna transfer this? So understand this. Okay, Rohit. Now understand this. Now, if I just talk about this depreciation will go in which ratio? So it will go in this investment, because higher the investment, the value will reduce. There is 1 lakh ka machinery, there is 2 lakh ka machinery. Value of 2 lakh ka machinery will reduce by higher value, right? So based on percentages, you charge depreciation. Then there is a insurance. Let us talk about first. The power will be on horsepower, we said, which is this. Then your rent will be on floor space, and your fuel. Acha, now there is one more important thing. Fuel should go on the radiator sections. No, we can't go in much detail, but when you say radiator sections, whatever radiator sections are there in the machinery, higher the radiator sections, higher fuel will be required. So it based on this ratio you're gonna transfer. When I say insurance, insurance can be life insurance or it can be insurance of the machinery. If it is life insurance, they would have mention of employees. When I say employees ka insurance, it will be life insurance. Have they mentioned life insurance? No, it is normal insurance. When you say normal insurance, it will be insurance of the machinery. So it means this 1000 should go in this investment ka ratio. And trade license, if I just talk about, it is something which you can assume anything. Trade license, nothing is mentioned in detail as to in what ratio it should go. So when you say trade license, it should go on what ratio? Your trade license should be transferred. What institute has done, if I tell you, trade license is done on investment. It can be taken in any ratio. We have said that like if you want to open liquor shop, you need license to do that business, or even a sugar factory. So whatever license you require, so whatever fees you have paid, on what ratio you gonna divide that? So you are going to divide this on the basis of investment that you made, how much investment in machine shop. It can be actually any ratio, but ICI does this, so I will highly recommend if trade license fees comes, it should be value of investment. Please understand this. It can be any ratio actually, but whatever ICI does, that is what you will have to do. That is recommended approach, I can say that. Okay, now that is what is I can say that taken care of. That is how you do your apportionment. That is how you do your apportionment, which is what I have explained. Okay, that is what I have explained. Okay, so yeah, as of now I can say that's it for the revision purpose. We have covered this many topics over here. If we'll meet tomorrow if possible, and we'll try to cover the rest. Yeah, let's see for that matter. As of now, what I have covered is yeah, here we go, where we go, overheads ka or labor ka part we have done. Overheads ka I have just explained in detail. Some summary. Acha, I will just recommend few things in the playlist. If you check the channel, in that case, just a second, so that I can give you the idea about that channel. Okay, एक second. Just a second. Okay, if you check this channel and the channel ka playlist, there are many such videos which would be helpful to you. Like the one video which can be helpful to you is this. If your Hindi fast track you need, it is there, which is CA Inter fast track Hindi. You can watch lectures where every chapter is completed within 4 hours. There is a Hindi marathon also in 12 hours which is done. So you can go for this. Okay, one more thing, contract costing in 2.5 hours. Chances are less for contract costing still. Acha, and for English, I can say that for English, there are some best videos which are uploaded. Like if you want to complete cost sheet, where it is, yeah, it is. If you go to this playlist, which is full costing CA Inter English, if you go to this playlist, here you can check this. Cost sheet has been completed in 26 minutes. That is one lecture. Then labor costing has been completed in 24 minutes. Process costing has been done, material costing has been done. If you find this useful, I will come up with those like in half an hour or in 30 minutes. We will try to cover those topics so that it should be an easy revision. Instead of solving the questions, then we can do that also. Okay, theory revision is not something which can be done as of now. Yeah, as of now, please, it is highly recommended. If you have a time, go with the cost sheet. Labor costing has been done in 24 minutes. Just go through that, so you will get everything about that. And if you can understand Hindi, I will recommend watch a fast track marathon which is there of 12 hours. It is highly recommended if you can understand Hindi. If not, go with these videos. Okay, you can just type BAAP marathon Hindi, you will get that my marathon. Okay, अभी के लिए secondary distribution, no, it will not be taken. We will see this. Non-integrated तो किया ही नहीं, आपने बता. Non-integrated we have done. So yeah, that's it. As of now, it is done for the day. You can just have your some comments वगैरह what should be done. Accordingly, we can take the future course of action tomorrow. What should be done करके. Let's see that. I will update the timing tomorrow. आज के लिए for today, this is something what we have done. If you haven't liked the video, it is just a request. We can always like the video. Chalo, let's meet tomorrow. That is done for the day, guys. Yeah, we'll meet tomorrow.